Do you
Was
do
it-
you
was
do you
it
still
Nick?
think that Earth is a horizontal plane? I
Right,
think
like
that
I
was.
say, the Earth, like the land, doesn't matter to a level. That the land goes up and down. That's why we use a level to measure the land going up and down. So I don't know. Like it's not flat, is it? You use the level.
Nobody else speaks. Just Bev. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. And other than that, I mean, everybody just makes assumptions about me again. I heard, I think Nick said something about us being a flat earther, right? And you can say flat earther denialism. Well, yeah, I'm not a flat earther. And all I've said is that level is horizontal. I've got a test to do a straight line using the water level and geometry. And we use the proofs from geometry to help us show you, or everyone, and myself, that you can do practical tests with things in reality. I mean, like, I'm not harming anyone. It's no problem. I don't make any claims about the shape of the land. I know that the land goes up and down, mountains and valleys. It's just a simple test to prove
Do you
a
want
straight
to?
line.
Your song?
Yeah.
Wait,
Our song.
Wow.
Playing short people.
Yeah.
What are y'all watching it on Discord?
oh, I can't fucking watch it or hear
Oh, he
it.
stopped it.
What the
Tell
hell?
him you
Say
gotta
it again, but
I mean,
Oh, he stopped my song.
mm,
What a ding dong.
boom.
I mean, I don't care if he plays it. I'm kind of excited about it.
lower it down.
well, I didn't get to hear it or anything. I mean, what's he doing?
He played it and it had like a weird, now he's playing some crazy.
What? Buster, are you on YouTube? On
Yeah,
this
you-
channel?
Have enough
you put it
confidence
on,
in the things that I know.
hear it.
I have enough wisdom to see the logic will be shown. I got one
Did you see the title of it?
to show you what I got. I got
Are you supposed to be over there, Biv?
Show
Not on his dick, is
confident now. Self-evident reason.
It says Bev Try Thinking versus Jose
Actions and
JG.
conclusions, and the fools are running away.
Must be on his Google or something.
He's playing some crazy stuff right now.
It's not what you say, it's only what you can prove. You better watch your step, you better mind your P's and Q's. You got
Hey, how come you guys aren't playing it in here? Like, in here?
what you got.
Not that good
Got
at it.
one chance. Show you
Women and children try, Buster. Men get shit done.
Hey man, you can't mess with our
caught
songwriting.
in
What's going
a
on, man?
matrix.
What's that?
All
I
of
was
these
hoping he was going to play it because I thought, man, it's pretty good. We'll take playing the song, but then he stopped it.
Now I'm just here
Modulation.
living on the ground.
I'll ask him what he was doing now.
Did it wrong, didn't I?
What did you say, Rakia? Were you sticking up for Buster?
Yeah, don't mess with the songwriter, man. I don't know what I can do, but I'll do something to you.
You're after me again. This isn't the first time you've been coming against me.
What do you do? Backslash play?
Quick trigger
exclamation
against-
mark, space, play.
Self-evident
Oh, that's what I do.
reason. Deductions and
What did you say,
conclusions.
Rakia?
I got a quick trigger against you.
Logically thinking, the fools are running away.
I don't mind. Seems I'm doing something right. There, now turn it up, Buster. Turn
I
it
can't. You have to.
You're flipping over backwards to show me where you think you are. Your model dictates that
What am I
you
gonna turn
never
up?
seek
You?
to follow.
Rhythm.
Oh, it's the rhythm.
Shrinking in the distance.
Holy smokes, what's that noise? What a bad time to turn it
Can
off.
you fuck out with an anger when the fools are running away?
Babe, try thinking. Kind of called me out on the Daily Boom.
Called him out?
Earlier, and I accepted the challenge.
You lying
I don't know
twat.
exactly the
What a
topic we're
sack
talking
of
about,
shit.
But I am ready to do it. I am ready to take a beating. This is not a debate. This is a 1 versus 1 discussion. That's why I was like, debate? Nah, not really. But I am ready to lose because this is all I got right
Could be so mature.
He's ready to lose.
And I got truth on my side. That being said, I encourage everybody to share this show. Please share it on the Discord, Twitter, Facebook, any platform that you think. Share it on your channel if you got a channel big enough to share, so we get a big audience over here. And the call will be on Google Meets. It's gonna be a private link, just Bev and myself. Unless Bev think that we need a moderator, that I don't think, it's gonna be just a back and forth discussion.
Need no moderator?
We're gonna have about-
Called him out, Beth?
I'm ready to have
I know, I just said, do you want to have a chat? You can talk about all of the problems you've got, like the misconceptions. And he went, no geometry. I went, yeah, don't worry about it. If I use geometry, I'll use it to prove.
Via PayPal.
Turn that into you called him out.
Yeah, I know. He's a lying shit.
We'll kind of go through the super chats as they go. I'm gonna share the link with you, Bev. Hopefully you're listening over there, and I will let you in. We'll get this party on the road. I can set up to have it half and half, the 2 screens,
Right.
Side by side.
I'll see you over there.
That would be cool. So let me share the link with you. There you go. I'm gonna let you in. I'm gonna see if we can set the layout. Here he is. There you go. I think I'll leave the sidebar. There you go. I was sorry now to see how I'm gonna show the layout on YouTube. I was gonna do it half and half, but there are 3 people because I got my secondary account that is streaming on the main computer. So it's okay. Whoever is speaking, that's the person that is gonna be the icon presenting. Unless you or me is gonna screen share, then that will take over the whole screen. Thank you for joining. Try thinking. How you doing, bro?
No problem. Yeah, sweet.
Good,
can we get over it? We didn't say a debate, right?
No,
And
I say
didn't,
discussion.
I didn't
Yeah.
call you out either.
No. I just kind of explained it as Bev called me out and I accepted the debate. What the hell? No, it's just sportsmanship. But yeah, no, I actually mentioned you because I saw there was an interaction throughout the day on the Daily Boom, and you were kind of with everybody. And I said, hey, you know what? I can do a few hours of live stream. So if you, I think I mentioned Doofus Manfred. I said, Doofus, if you want Bev one-on-one, I hosted. But Doofus was out. I said, all right, Bev, it's your call if you want to, call somebody out to have a one-on-one. And yeah, you wanted to talk to me. So yeah, I'm here, man.
I said like we can go over all of the misconceptions that there seems to be with us, with what you guys seem to think we are, and what we're doing and all of that.
That could be good. Now, I do not represent anybody or anybody's opinion. Nobody represents me or my opinion. My comments and whatever happens here in this discussion is me, myself, and I 100%. I don't got any lifeline. I don't got anybody coaching. It's 100% myself, honest. I don't even have I got 2 tabs open. I got the YouTube link open to see how many people are watching, 40 watching, and I got the Google Meets open and the YouTube chat. Like, if I need to screen share or search for something, I'll make sure that I screen share and show you what I'm doing. But I don't got any setup. I think there are big people like MC Toon. I think he's one of the best. I call him debaters because I think he got a good setup, like folders and files and lines by title. Like if anybody mentions something, oh, I got you right here. I don't got shit, bro. I got a shitload of messy
team.
Thumbnails. I got a messy thumbnail
in the background,
my
Jose. That's what they've got.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. I just I'm just myself, man, with my
Yeah.
raggedy laptop over here and my squeaky ear, bro.
Me too.
That's good, yeah.
Just real people, right?
Yeah, if you wanna start kind of bring points, we'll make it interactive, and I'll see. I'll tell you if I know something or not, or if I got an idea, and we'll take it from there. You know.
Sweet. Okay. So what about our how you came into this? Because I mean, I've not been in this as long as you guys have, right? You've been in it longer. I heard you were at Nathan Oakley. I wasn't even around here then, when you were at Nathan Oakley's, right? So how
Yeah.
did you come into it before that?
Yeah, in I used to listen a lot of when I did. I used to do a little fishing game on my phone, and I had a second chip, no data phone, and I used to look for long podcasts on YouTube and people doing like presentations. And I did like about stuff about science, about the planets and the universe. I listened a lot of stuff, but I got hooked on Michio Kaku, the string theory guy. I think he's Japanese or whatever. So the string theory guy, and I start listening to him because I click one clip like, are aliens real? Are aliens real? Michio Kaku will tell you a theory, physicist theories or whatever. And I listened to it and I got hooked up with him. So I was listening to a lot of podcasts by him. And along the recommendations, I kept reading Flat Earth on YouTube. So this was me. I didn't even know that live shows and live chats existed on YouTube. I used to just look at clips and listen to stuff. Every once in a while, I left a comment or not on the comment section. But I kept getting recommended a Flat Earth. I said, you know what? I'm going to click in one of these. I was going to paint my house. I was bored. I said, I need something to listen to. So the video I clicked was Joe Rogan with Eddie Bravo. What's his name? Joe Rogan with that Bravo guy, the MMA guy.
Yeah, Eddie Bravo.
Eddie
That's
Bravo,
Eddie.
right? That's his
Yeah,
name.
yeah, that's his name.
What did it sounded to me like? Viva la raza! Oh, that was Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Bravo. So Eddie Bravo and Joe Rogan. So I clicked in it, and it was like 10 or 15 minutes clip. And I wasn't even a fan. I never listened to podcasts of Joe Rogan. I said, oh, Joe Rogan got a show. What the hell? I didn't even know because I was a fan of MMA all the time. I said, let me listen to this. What the hell is going on? So it's that kind of famous, very recognized clip of Eddie Bravo, one of the first ones. I think it was clipped because I heard that the interview was hours long, but I heard a 10 or 15 minutes clipped. And he mentioned the flat earth. You'll be lied to, like, look it up, look into it. And I was in a phone in my pocket and painting. I go like, damn, this is funny, weird, interesting, and it got my curiosity. So the clip ended, and I said, let me see what else. And the next recommendation was ODD, a guide, questions to a guide to Flat Earth or something like that. The 20 questions answer or 15 questions answer. I click on that video, and it was like, hey, this is ODD, and when people mention Flat Earth, this is what people imagine Flat Earth to be. So we imagine to be the North Pole in the center, and then in the outside, I said, like, I gotta look into this. So I sat down, tried a cigarette, and when I flipped my phone, boom, there was the AE map that he was proposing in the little nice video he did. And I go like, whoa, what the hell? And bro, as I was looking the AE map and he was talking, something, poof, my third eye opened. That's how I felt, right? So something like got into me, like, holy shit, like there's something, I was thinking flat earth, how it could be a globe. Nothing else could come into mind. But when I saw that AE map, something, the horizons open, like, holy shit, there's something, a visual, there's an alternative. I listened into that and I kept clicking. I don't know if it was I didn't look at Eric Dubay for maybe a week after, but after that video, bro, that was all day long, clicking on videos and videos and videos. I heard of Mark Sargent. I think I heard one of Dorje Dakar. I sat down and it was very visual. A lot of videos, bro. Day after day after day. I listened to all the Eric Dubays. I found Beyond the Imaginary Curve, talking to people on the streets, and the Globe Lie guy. And that was in early 2017. I kept listening to all the videos, bro, month after month. Like in the second or third month, I came across the Nathan Oakley channel. I said like, oh shit, there's live shows. People is interacting lifetime. And I started listening to him. I got to Jamie Brown. He used to do hangouts. Jamie Brown gave me a shout out like, hey, Jose, how you doing, man? And I type in like, hey, I put a video up on my YouTube channel, and I put my first upload a few months into looking into the Flat Earth. Jose the Awakening, Flat Earth the Awakening. So Jamie Brown said, hey, everybody go check out Jose's channel over there. And I got me like 40 subscribers. I was excited. I said like, holy shit, people is commenting on my video. And I got motivated and I started doing stuff. But that was kind of the beginning of everything. Me came across Flat Earth by coincidence. I got recommended and I kept looking into it. And that's how I got to Nathan Oakley shows a few months after I started looking into it. I don't want to keep going in my history, but that was the beginning, like the beginning.
Sweet. Because loads of people come into it loads of different ways, don't they? That's what I've found recently.
I didn't know. I didn't see a mention in Facebook. I was always in Facebook, active with my family and exchanging with friends of Puerto Rico. But I never saw that. Just on YouTube, recommended to me, and that's how I click into it. And I bit into it hard. I swallowed the hook hard, man.
But you want to know how I came into it?
Yeah, tell us, man. Tell us.
I got a camera for my lad. He's autistic, and we sort of got to get him out a bit. So we took a picture. We went up to the local landmark, and at the top of it, and the trig point, it had a little brass plaque on it. It said Isle of Man, 85 miles away. So we pointed the camera at it, and we seen it. We put the picture out on Twitter, like really chuffed, like 85 miles. How far have you seen? And we just got abuse. People were telling us that we thought that the horizon rises to eye level, which I said, no, a horizon doesn't rise to eye level. It can't do. And then I started getting called a child abuser for telling my son that. So I had to then like struggle with myself to work out why somebody would do that. Why would they call me that? So then I had to decide whether I knew or whether I could prove that it was true or not. So I had to then work out a method to try and work out how to prove that the horizon doesn't rise to eye level. But then I also had to try and work out why this person had asked me that. The only way you can do that is to work through the channels to be able to get to talk to them. So I eventually worked in my way in to get to talk to him. But you have to go through different avenues. Like when you went through your avenues, you got to wherever you wanted to go. You did videos and all of that sort of stuff. I didn't. I was only after trying to work out why somebody would want to do that. So I found out now, after a fair bit of time, that it's a tactic that people use. They goad people in by calling them horrible names and accusing them of stuff that they've not got any idea about, really. But they use that in order to goad people onto their channels so that they can then progress this sort of lie about stuff and just lie and slander, libel people all the time. You know, they don't really care. So, I mean, that's how I got into this arena. Obviously, I went to 24/7 was the first place because that's where you go, right? When you're trying to find your way into this sort of arena, first place you see is 24/7 because that's that's when you Google it. I mean,
you know what? The first place I went to talk to on people on the internet, I started watching the Oakley channel, and they were going through the Isle of Man around the show 70, 80, 90, somewhere around there. And I started watching early, not from the show 1, but maybe 20 or 30. And I was watching, enjoying all of this, all the characters, right? The interaction, the back and forth, the two sides of the coin. I really enjoyed that. And I said, like, man, one day I want to go to that show and talk to them, but I don't got anything to talk about. I just listen. And then when the Isle of Man came in, I got angry because I was like, man, this is so boring. They're talking about the same thing. And somebody in the YouTube chat, they said like, shit, like the Jim Panda server. I said like, whoa, Jim Panda, I recognize the name. He used to come in the Oakley show. And they say, oh, Jim Panda server, you know, he's got like a bunch of people that used to come into Oakley. They're hanging out in the server. I said like, yeah, maybe one day I'll find out. So I found Louis Hackett's channel, and I was reading through it, and he gave me a link to the Jim Panda server. So I joined the Jim Panda server first time ever. I didn't know Discord first. I set it up. I said like, hey, check. Hey, yeah, we hear you, Jose. Yeah. So there was Louis Hackett, Soundly, and a few more people on the server. And I talked to them. I talked to them a few questions, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I said, all right, laters, bye. Maybe a few days after, I joined again, half an hour to listen in the background. And then one day I said like, yeah, you know, I can talk to people online. I don't have to be afraid or in shame that my accent or I'm not able to communicate well. That was my thing holding me back. I said maybe there was going to be a language barrier, but I said, no, I hear people speak worse than me, you know. So that one day I joined to the Oakley show. I felt more comfortable after going to the Jim Panda server first time. Actually, I didn't even know that 24/7 existed or any other server. You know, that was the first one I came across.
Yeah, well, first off, if you Google flat Earth, you always get Flat Earth Society because they want to take it, whatever. But I don't know anybody that there's no way you can't talk to anyone there. It's just trolls pushing false narrative all the time.
I never tried. Yeah, I heard that since the beginning. The Jadanisms and Godbusters, they started their channels earlier, a little before I came in, and they were mentioned always, Flat Earth Society, that's all bullshit and psyop and all that shit. I said like, yeah, I'm not even going to look into it, not going to entertain anything related to Flat Earth Society. I'm going to hang out in the YouTube in people that I can kind of interact with on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what we wanted, real people, right? It's no good talking to fake people and liars and people putting on a role and acting. You only wanted real people, and it's hard to get to talk to real people. It's really hard to get to talk to real people because people seem to want to push you away.
Yeah, but it wasn't hard to me. Now, yeah, the people wanted to push me away when I was a Flat Earther, and since the beginning, I said like, damn, I didn't know this was so nasty, and the Globers were so harsh to me, calling me uneducated and a retard, and what am I like 5 that I don't understand these things. But I kind of still knew that they were real people, just with the different motive to talk to.
Well, you see, that may be different from when you entered it. You said you were watching the videos and Eric DeBay and all of that sort of stuff. Now, I didn't do any of that. Like I say, I've never been a flat earther. I'm still not a flat earther. I can see that it's not flat geometrically, right? And that's where I'm a very literal person like that. So I've never watched any of the Eric DeBay videos and done all of that sort of stuff because I'm not really interested in other people's proofs. I know that you can't pick up a proof from somebody else. You have to gain it for yourself. So when I've been on this, I've been on looking for myself, right? Trying to work out whatever I can for myself. So I've never considered myself as a flat earther. So when people call me a flat earther, I find that really strange because along with that tag, they always link, like you say, the demeaning, like whoever's talking to you automatically gains the intellectual superiority for no reason, just because they point a finger at you and call you a flat earther.
Yeah, I think I called that there are there was a word like eras, like different eras of flat earthers. There was the first era of flat earther, 2014, 15, 16. Then there was the second era, 2017, maybe 2017. That's it. The third era is the 2018, when a shitload of new people that got giant channels today came in because of the Beyond the Curve documentary. That's the third era. And then the fourth era, the newer ones from 2019, 2021. But maybe the beginning, first and second era, yes, we were all flat earthers, and we were not ashamed to say it. That's kind of a tricky one. You came after that when you heard everything and all the insults to people that are called themselves flat earther. You don't want to be called like that and categorized like that. So you came when you knew that you were going to be, some kind of somehow subjected to be called names because you are a quote unquote flat earther. I wasn't afraid of that because we were real and we kept it real and we said, no, we are flat earthers and fuck that, fuck everything.
Well, you see, like I say, I'm only here because of the horizon rising to eye level, right? It doesn't happen. That doesn't happen because levels do not rise. Now, because I've got a test to prove that level is horizontal through a straight line in geometry, like a real life geometrical test, to show a straight line. I mean, that's it. It's just a straight line test. Now, it's not being done for everybody else. It's being done for me personally, but it's only to see whether we can do it, right? As a group of people to do it. It's a fun thing for us to do. It's not going to be approved for anybody else, right? But
so that's how you came in with the horizon rises to eye level, and you in your mind you say like, no, I never witnessed this. I must test and do something. That's how you came into looking into this bigger topic, right?
I just said that the horizon does not rise to eye level. And
I'm typo, misspoke. But that was kind of how you came into the bigger picture.
Yeah, like I say, he Fight the Flat Earth, right? He called me a child abuser for saying that. Because I was teaching.
I'm not him. We'll try.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying it. It's nothing to do with you, right? Definitely not. And I'm not saying it as a bad thing either. Because if he hadn't have said that, I wouldn't be here, right? I wouldn't be the person I am today now if he hadn't have done that. So yeah,
you could have ignored him, because if I wanted to entertain all the stuff that people have say about me, I would be a different person, but I wanted to be me. So I ignore all those, the haters, Well, you didn't. You couldn't forget the haters. You had to.
No. You're getting me wrong, Jose. It's not for that, right? It's for the reason that I couldn't understand why somebody would want to do that, right? That's what brought me into this. I mean, it was my trying to work out. Like I said, my lad is autistic. And he doesn't have this. He doesn't have this social filter of things what not to say, right? He just says facts, and you can't stop him, right? You can't tell him not to say that because it'd be a truthful fact, right? So, in my wanting to be able to protect him in this reality that we live in, I have to be able to find some way to help him when he says factful truths, right? If you say level is horizontal, there are a group of people that will say really bad things about you. They will call you a flat earther. They will call you names, right? For no reason other than you've said something that you can prove.
Why do you think that you needed to take this route and directly drop everything you had? You said, oh, somebody say something really bad about me and that hurt me, and I need to address this and I need to stop what I'm doing and proving that person wrong. I'm not here to prove anybody wrong. Why didn't continue your journey and fuck everybody else? You needed to let him into your life like that?
That was my journey, Jose. My journey is here, right? It's led me here. So him saying that has led me on the journey, right? What he did was he called me that, right? And then I had to go. I asked myself, well, I think level is horizontal, right? Now, he's saying I'm a child abuser for saying that. Now, how can I prove to myself that level is horizontal? But so just to prove it to myself, that was the question, right? That was the quest he put me on. and I'm thankful for it.
Dude, if I get to mention somebody that motivated me to do stuff and say something, dude, I'll be half an hour mentioning names over here.
Mm-hmm.
But that people they don't deserve my attention. Why do you keep giving somebody that you don't appreciate your attention? Why do you keep giving Fight the Flathead attention?
I'm not giving him attention.
You mentioned him 7 times already today.
Well, that's because he's led me here. Right?
I guess. I don't care, you know. I don't keep mentioning Eddie Bravo. I mentioned it for the second time to give you the example, but he led me here. That was the first exposition for me. I don't need to keep mentioning him.
Well, yeah, like I say, he says it, but it's not just him. It's everybody else that hears it, right? You must have heard everybody calling us flat earthers and then saying we're stupid, we're liars. You know, we do all sorts of things. Anybody can take the piss out of us. Anybody seems to be able to make up any sort of bullshit that they want about us.
Yeah, and we are allowed to do that. That's the little bit of free will and a little bit of openness that YouTube give us. You know, that little bit that they actually let us say some stuff. You know, that's fair game, man. If we're in this game, we gotta take it.
Well, I mean, like we don't. We try and keep it like on the level. We try and keep everything as honest as possible.
I don't. I like trolling, man. And since I was even a flat earther, I love trolling. It's part of the game, my game, you know.
Well, yeah, I know. There's obviously different sides of this, and we seem to be in the middle, taking the flack from both sides.
Yeah, it's all good. How about if we entertain a topic or two and try to screen share, because I don't got anything on hand. And I when you mentioned the Horizon rises to eye level, I said like, that's weird because I never seen it before. I never done before any test the Horizon dropping, but I seen a lot of people. And when I was a flat earther, there was a point after a year and a half, I said like, yeah, the Horizon actually do drop to eye level. Is it something optical or visual? Maybe, but the only evidence that we find is that with the altitude, the Horizon actually drops because there is evidence for it. And a few months ago, when I went to Puerto Rico and I took clips and videos with the Deodolite little app, I got a good picture of the Horizon dropping below the eye level. I have it in my old device, so I don't have the picture on hand, but I can find any other picture showing the horizon that we see on Earth from a plane or I'm going to talk from a plane because it's what we can do. And then you can see the horizon line where it's 0 degrees, 0 and 0, and it's above the eye level. What do you think about those evidences of, you can find today evidence of the horizon do not rises to eye level and it actually drops?
I know, that's what I said. Like, I came into this saying exactly that. The horizon doesn't rise to eye level. How can it? The two different
but
levels.
It does. That's what I'm asking you today.
What?
When you look for evidence of the horizon dropping below eye level, you find that evidence. The horizon do drop below eye level, and we can find that evidence. And yourself can do it with a chip.
I wouldn't say it
on a phone.
drops. It can't drop. It's that
a
drop is the same as a rise.
Yeah. If you think it doesn't drop, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but it does drop because that's all the evidence that we can find. The horizon dropping below eye level with altitude when we get more altitude.
Yeah, the further you get away from, if you start at the sea, right, with your toes touching at the seawater, right, then your toes are at the level of the water, but your eyes are above it.
Always,
now,
yeah.
That water that goes out from your feet, does that rise up? That, however, how tall you are,
he appears
right?
to. He appears to with our naked eyes. Yeah.
Does it actually rise?
It does not. No.
No, right. So that level of that cannot rise to your eyes. It can't happen.
Yeah, that's the beauty of understanding optics and perspective.
Yeah.
That's a law of perspective that that is easy to understand, that the horizon appears to rises above, to your eye level, but we know that it's always slightly below because I'm always above the water,
Yeah.
So that's the beauty about understanding perspective.
So as you go up, like, so if you walk then up the beach or whatever, and then find a mountain and you walk up the mountain, you are then further away than where you were, right? You've gone a vertical change upwards, haven't you? You have.
We are higher, a lot higher.
Right now, the water that you've just been at doesn't rise at all, does it? It doesn't. But there's a greater distance between you and the horizon.
Yes.
And so that's what you would call drop, is it, of the horizon?
No, I mean, with my eyes, I cannot see this. If you want to find out about the horizon dropping below eye level, we need specific tools to measure this.
Yeah, a level.
No, that a level is not going to measure drop of the horizontal from the eye level.
The horizontal won't drop. It's horizontal.
The autolite will show you that the horizon dropped below eye level.
Yeah, there's a
Another
distance
tool, I
between
mentioned
the
autolite because I know
level,
that one.
the level of the theodolite or auto level at whatever height you are at will be that vertical distance above the level of the water, or the the mean sea level. It will always be that vertical distance difference, won't it? Neither of the levels that you're at or the level of the water will rise or drop towards each other or away from each other. It's just a straight line.
Yeah, I'm not talking about if it's straight line from left to right. I'm talking about horizon
outwards.
dropping below that,
straight
below
outwards.
that level.
It's a
below
horizontal
that line.
plane.
Yeah, so the horizon does drop below that one eye line that you see. If we're standing on the ground looking at the sea, and if I measured with any theodolite, the horizon gonna appear to be right in my eye. It's gonna appear, at least on my phone, that is not very fine tool. But actually, just looking on my eyes, I say like, dude, the horizon is right there in the middle of my eyes. But if I keep going up, if I go on a plane and I look through the window, I say like, dude, look at that. The horizon is right on my eye line. I call bullshit, because then I pull my measuring little theodolite app and I take a picture and I orientate the phone. I either tilt it up or tilt it down. If I point my phone, the middle of the phone of the camera, if I point the line in the middle of the camera, if I point at the horizon and I take a picture, it's gonna be a few degrees of difference. Then if I actually grab my phone and I look at the numbers of the sides and I say, all right, 0 degrees, and I orientate 0 degrees, I take a picture, the horizon is going to be below that line. So the horizon is below the eye level that versus when I was on the ground.
Yeah.
So the higher you go, the lower the horizon will be.
Yeah. The further you are away from it, the higher you go, you are moving further away from that. So therefore, that goes below you, right?
Exactly. So the horizon drops below eye level. Why do you? I mean, so you came through this topic when you thought the horizon bullshit. The horizon does not drop below eye level, but now you have changed because we know that the horizon drops below eye level today.
No,
right?
I said it doesn't rise to eye level. It's always below, right? Now, all of this, the only person I've ever heard say that the horizon actually rises above those crosshairs of a level.
Yeah, and the higher you go, the more drop you're going to have.
Do you know the only person who I've ever heard say that it does rise above the crosshairs?
Eric Dubay and other flat earthers.
No. George
Lemonbird.
Nutsack.
No,
George.
Lemonbird, Eric Dubay, and I
George.
can give you 20 more flat earther names.
George Nutsack. He's got pictures of it.
Yeah, but he's not here, and we're talking.
No, but that's like I say, that's the only person I've ever heard. He's not
Lemonbird,
only
every
said
time-
it, he's got
Have-
pictures, he says.
Have you never talked to Lemonbird or heard him? Lemonbird, every time he come in, he say the horizon drops below eye level.
Yeah, like I say, the only person I've heard say it rises above eye level is George. Shout out,
All right,
George.
yeah.
I hope you're all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
I've not seen
Yeah,
you for
yeah.
a bit.
So you disagree with George, and I disagree with 90% of the flat earthers that say that the horizon rises to eye level. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I disagree with them as well. Like I say, I'm not a flat earther. I've never said that the horizon rises to eye level. It can't. It's a level. Like, levels don't meet. They're parallel.
Right.
How could they rise or intersect? Like I say, the only person I've ever heard say that is George. And I hope he's okay. Because ever
yeah,
since
I
he
hope
did
he's
say that, he's gone missing.
No, I hope he's okay because
Yeah.
he had a tragedy in his house. He's going through harsh times now for the past few weeks. He's blocked on my channel,
way.
so he's not going to be able to come in. But yeah, there was something really bad happening in his personal life, and I wish him the best. Doesn't matter whether I like him or not, I got him blocked or not. I wish him the best as a person.
Yeah, I doesn't care how many death threats he's give us or anything like that. I hope he's all right.
I don't
hope he's doing
entertain none
okay.
of that. All right, I got two super chats to read over here. Aaron Armstrong, thank you, Aaron Armstrong, for 5 Australians. Bev says he keeps things clean and doesn't troll. What about the video special and meme he made about me? He recorded it while I was sick in a hospital. Aaron Armstrong said. Let me read this one first now. James Mays with a big $20 super chat. James Mays, welcome back, brother. James Mays was a big Patreon of the channel, a big supporter. I know he got personal stuff to do, but hey, welcome back, brother. He say, Bev, Jose, I'm here. Let's go. Hey, shout out to James. Hopefully you're driving safe out there. I think he's a trucker also. So glad to see you, James. Damn, were you trolling Aaron Armstrong, Bev?
I didn't know who Aaron Armstrong was really to do that, but I mean, I'd saved a few clips, and I saved a clip of Fight the Flat Earth talking about what's he called? What's his face? Andrew Thomas Young. And Fight the Flat Earth made out that he knew him and he was dead pally with him. And he had to
Bob
make...
the Science Guy. Bob the Science Guy has been talking back and forth with him. He got long
Travis,
hours. He
I
talked
think
hours
Travis
with him.
talks with him as well.
Yeah, good. Good. So, yeah.
But Fight the Flat Earth made out that he was dead matey with him. And then he had to make another video saying that he wasn't actually that friendly with him. And he just got an email. But he got that email handed to him from Aaron Armstrong. So that was it. It was just it was a strange coincidence that Aaron Armstrong had given Fight the Flat Earth the email that Fight the Flat Earth then took on as it, like he made it out that him and Andrew Thomas Young were best mates and he was going to be getting him on and all of that.
Yeah,
so it was
I
just,
wouldn't do that.
It's
It's
just
like me
funny.
saying that it's like I'm saying that I'm body with like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I never spoken with.
Yeah.
I don't like
And I think it was a DP meme, domesticated primate. Shout out DP. He's good.
So
at,
is this
he's good
a-
at doing the memes.
Yeah, Ed Freeze asks, is this about Flat Earth or Fight the Flat Earth? Boom. That was a good troll comment. I like that.
Well, actually, that was one of the things I was going over just recently. I'm not a flat earther, never have been. But if you search up on Twitter, hashtag defend the flat earth, you'll find most of this, it'd be me going after people that are abusing flat earthers. I just I like a fair playing ground, right? And it's better off having the argument or the discussion or whatever rather than this back and forth where people just accuse other people of things and then
Yeah,
You know.
I try not to, man. And if
Yeah.
let's say that I have had my up and downs with you, and I just call you whatever name in your face, but I will never call you a name like that. I say, you fuckwit or something, you motherfucker. Like that's something else, just out of rage, but not, I don't Yeah, I don't do that type of thing. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, like I
Hey,
say,
let's-
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, right? I've been called all of the names, and it's not changed me
Right.
at all. I'm still the same person. Doesn't make any difference.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We got a big audience watching, 80 plus people watching. Please don't forget to like or dislike. Bev maybe like to put this somewhere in his channel or something, so that's okay. And I don't care. You know what? I was Googling. I said, like, what is Bev? I click in one of your videos. I check on your channel, and you did one. Like, the last time that you came here, a few days ago, and you did a stream and you edited the bejesus out of it. You put a lot of stuff that I say, I don't care. That's good trolling. So good trolling, but
It's all the clips. I mean, I've saved
yeah.
loads of clips.
do you consider that trolling? Because I consider that you're a big troll on doing that, but it's okay. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Well, I don't know. I like to compare and contrast the show the both sides whenever there is I don't know, like somebody who's taking both sides of an argument, and I could sort of call it being hypocritical. I like to show
Right.
both sides, and it's much better than rather than to say it and just sort of, accuse people of things and not give any proof. I find it's much better to actually show people that, these people say things like that.
Do you think that's fair? Because let's say I become a whatever. I go to church and I start preaching like, never smoke weed. You never ever do this. You never ever talk like this to people. And then in between, I play a little clip of me. Oh man, I'm so fucking high. And they say, you never insult people. I go, you motherfucker. You think that's fair to do that, to measure something that happened a while ago versus something that is happening now? Don't you think that people get change moods, and when a person is talking about a certain topic, it's not good to mix what happened in the past? Or you think that is just fair to you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, when I do that, I don't know which, are you talking about anything in particular?
Yes, like the video that you put up, you putting things like when the last stream I said, Bev, you're welcome to come in, man. Like, come in, let's have a nice chat. And then you cut to the clip like, you fucking motherfuckers, I hate this person and I hate that person. And then you went back to today when I said like, yeah, it's all about love. And then you go to the old clip from months ago, I hate you all. Do you think that's fair to do?
Well, like, it has to be shown that these are two different sides of your character. Like, nobody ever knows which one you're ever going to get, Jose.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's fair. But sometimes it's good to show just people the reality of what we're going through, right? And not mix something that happened before versus something that is happening now, because people then that are not following, they get confused. They say like, whoa, he's just just losing it.
I don't know. I think maybe other people's different styles and the way they do things, but I mean that's definitely the way I do it. I like to save clips because some of the things that get said are just brilliant.
All right,
They've got
you know
to be
what?
saved, haven't they?
Yeah. This is a beautiful comment by James Mays with a big super chat again. James Mays, thank you for your support. Come on, Jose. I support all of you guys. Proceed. You know what? I will do that because James Mays asked me to. Let's proceed. So you never say the Earth is flat. You're never a flat Earth proponent. What shape do you think the Earth is? Or a better question, do you think the Earth is a globe? And what, any ideas on all the big picture? How will it look? Any map, any visual representation of it?
Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm a carer. I only live in the UK, right? I've never really been. Might have been on holiday a few times to a few different places. It's never going to happen again. So I can only go with the local area that I'm in. And I would say, from what I've gathered, there's a 0 chance of it being a globe. But in order to tell the shape, we use tools. Now I've been trained to use those tools to actually measure and map. So, you know, that's done. Like I say, I've got tests for all of that sort of stuff, and we measure elevation changes. So it's definitely not flat, and we measure it using tools. The main tool is a level.
Some people might call that a double stick, babe. I know it's not a globe, definitely not a globe, but I know definitely it's not flat. So what's the in between?
It's a horizontal plane for sure, and I'd say the horizontal planes are parallel. So plane parallel. I don't know. That's about the best I could do.
All right, that's fair. Now, we living in. I mean, the future is now. We know. I mean, this is the future. Like we are living in. Beautiful times to live in. What about all the evidence that is out there for the globe as for visual evidence, pictures, videos of all kinds of government and space agencies? What's up with all those pictures? Should I that I am aware of all these pictures just not entertaining and ignore them? And why should I not look at them? Because they all show that the Earth is a globe.
Well, you've got a P900, haven't you?
Yes, the P900 is not going to take a picture of Earth. The whole
No,
Earth.
but I mean,
Never.
you have at least took your own pictures, haven't you? You know, like, because like normal cameras aren't that particularly good, but a P900, P1000 has the ability to see things that you wouldn't normally be able to see, right? It's a bit of a special camera, isn't it? It's not fantastic, but it'll get you to look at things that you've never seen before. Right? So I've got that because my son's a really good photographer. And we've got the P1000, a little bit better. Well, I'm not too sure how much better it is, to be honest. I probably prefer a P900.
It's a little bit better. I mean, it's bulkier, but yeah, it got a lot more pixels, you know, a lot of more details.
Yeah, but it's that heavy. You've got to have a better tripod, and it's not as steady. And it's I don't know. It's hard to judge which one's best. But
right.
You've got a chance to see that. So I've seen them pictures with myself. All of the other pictures I've never taken. I don't know. I can't verify it to because I'm a big proponent of proving stuff to myself. And if I can't prove it to myself, then it doesn't really bother me. I'm not that fussed about it.
Is this too? Are you going too extreme to the satiric approach, babe, with this, that you cannot entertain any of the thousands, maybe millions of pictures and videos of the Earth from above because you haven't taken them? Do you think this is extreme for you?
Well, no, I've seen tons of pictures of space. The majority of them have been on films. You know, actual actors and movie sets and all of that sort of stuff, right? The majority, I'd say, as well. Not just the minor majority either, like a 95%, right? 95% of the stuff that you sort of know that you're going to use, you know for a fact, and probably hasn't come from space, right? They're movie sets. The most of the pictures you've got in your head and most of the other pictures that you imagine don't really show you anything. It's not a proof of much, is it?
That's normal people can see it that way, but not us. We've been looking into this for a long time and break it down, pictures, spend hours looking at pictures, putting them through software and stuff like that. So maybe for the normal people, they might think that they got this illustration in their brain they've seen in videos and movies, but no, not us, babe. Because to be honest, we know what could be real, could be not. Now we need something to tell, is it real or not?
Right, well, I personally do not analyze photos. I look at the photos and go, that's a nice photo. That captures the moment very well. Or, you know, like that, we get the object that we were looking for or whatever, you know, like it's just a picture. There's nothing really you can gain from it. Because I know the importance of the actual tools for doing the actual measurements and how physical and an actual part of it, that is not the same as looking at something. It's not. They don't equate.
I got a few questions over here. Paul Ward says, has Bev figured out why no two verticals on Earth are parallel yet? Do you think that you see? Have you figured out why two verticals are not parallel on Earth yet?
Well, like I say,
What can you make out of that?
I go with if there's a horizontal plane, then all perpendiculars to a plane, provably, will be parallel. And if you have a horizontal plane, like I say, we've got a test to prove a straight line. If you have that horizontal plane and it's a straight line, then all perpendiculars to that will be parallel. So I don't know what he's going on about. He'd have to show some sort of a method or test or something to show that, let's say, the horizontal curves or what, I don't know, horizontals intersect. I don't know what he's saying. Verticals are parallel, aren't they?
Well, I think he means that two verticals on Earth, two of those verticals, they are not parallel. They're observably not, he say.
Observably, did he say?
Observably and maybe measurably.
Wow, maybe
I'm
measurably.
going to take a leap of faith and say measurably they're not parallel.
I don't know about you, but I mean, if you subscribe to that particular model, you have to be able to believe that verticals can be perpendicular to vertical. Also, verticals would be parallel to horizontal. It's a very strange model that you have to subscribe to if you believe that. No, I don't.
Right. Yeah, let me read a few more. James is killing it. Damn. But, okay. I got over here. Anamorphic Mind says, all hail Squeaky Earth. And you know, when I get a super chat for that, you know what I have to do? I have to Squeaky Earth. So, headphones warning. Here we go. All hail Squeaky Earth. Thank you, Anamorphic Mind. I appreciate it, brother. That was for me. And we got Flat Earth Denier. How about a person with the YouTube name Flat Earth Denier? You like that?
Is that a new account?
He say, Bev, does spherical geometry exist?
That's you go back and watch one of the videos I did with Fight the Flat Earth. He asked the same question. I answered him. Spherical geometry is a geometrical concept. I don't know what you're talking about existing. Actual geometry, the Earth measurement is done with Euclidean geometry. All the tools for measuring it is done with Euclidean geometry.
All right, we got this one is by Bearded Devil. I'm gonna read two more super chat comments, and then I'll keep talking to Babe over here. I know you got some question for me, but I got a question for you too. Like trying to pull it off my cuff as we talk, you know, because I catch some things you say and I want maybe a follow up. Bearded Devil 1864. Babe, what causes objects to occupy a position in space below infinitely parallel horizontal planes? It's an interesting question.
So say that again. Go on, give us it again.
Yeah, what causes objects to occupy a position in space below infinitely parallel horizontal planes? I'm gonna copy and paste it over here in the Google Meet so you can read it yourself. Maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm just
Maybe I'm doing
I'm
a separation
envisaging now. There's two parallel planes, and then there's an object below them. Is that what he's asking? He says, "What? Go on, help work through this one with us." Is the man's paid money for this, Jose?
Yeah, click on the little chat Click on the little chat box here in Google Meets. I typed it.
Okay, Bev, what causes
In call
objects to
messages,
occupy a position in space below infinitely parallel horizontal planes? Well, let's say there are infinitely parallel horizontal planes, then there is an object below those. What causes it? There's an object below the infinitely parallel horizontal planes. I don't really understand what the question is. Maybe if you put the object there underneath the horizontal planes, then you are the cause of that object being below those infinitely. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really do much better than that, Jose. Sorry.
All right, we'll go back to it. He said he just sent me a DM, like elaborating it, but we'll go back to it. We'll go back to it shortly, and we'll see if we can understand it better. And James Mays for another big super chat. Thank you, James Mays, brother. I appreciate your support, man. Bev, I find it funny. Jesse is just a keyboard warrior. Shout out to Jesse Kozlowski in the chat. Liz, Bob, and Rumpus are still trying to stand. Cheers, Jesse. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, like Jesse's, he's always been offered any chance he wants to come and chat, but he won't. You know, he'll probably make a bit of money out of it, though, right, Jose?
Jesse's ace, man. He's a big supporter, you know. Yeah.
Like Jesse's the main man that I go off, because he said that the water level drops away from the horizontal, and we know we can establish a horizontal, so it's there to be measured for everyone. We are going to be using water levels to establish a straight line, so I don't know.
All right, and I just want to encourage everybody in the YouTube chat to engage in a fun discussion back and forth, comment on what's going on, but talk among yourself. Try to please keep the personal attacks outside the YouTube. No personal attacks, no swearing, and troll responsibly. Yeah, I encourage you trolling, you know. This is funny, like protester. He say, okay, my arms are bigger than your legs, son. That's funny. Larry Scott, super chat, last one, and then we'll keep talking. Not, maybe measurably, in quotes, absolutely measurably. And measured. Do you deny Ordnance Survey UK measurements?
They are 2-scale maps on the UK, Larry. Why do I need to deny them? Triangulatable, straight line, horizontal distances, point A to B. There's nothing need denying.
All right. I want to read this comment. This is funny. There's a big fan of mine over here. Protester, do you know him? Protester?
Nah.
Baby. He say, what is he? He had a funny comment. Oh, he say, you need to polish your script, bro. But before that, protesters say, damn it. I'm gonna find it. Give me 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Protester, you gotta type that comment again where you say something about me being like low level or bottom of the barrel or something like that. I wanna read that. Shout out to Protester. You got any points you wanna make, and I'll rebut that. See what I get, or
No, I'm like, you carry on with your guys. I mean,
well,
I bet there's a lot of people with a lot of
a lot of
axes to grind out there, right?
Yeah. Now, my question to you is, so you say it's not flat, you say it's not a globe, but do you think because you have done a few small tests, because you've done a few small tests, that is like the overall on the shape of the Earth, because you've done a few water levels?
It's never been about the shape of the Earth, right? This is one of the things we keep going on about. It's not about the shape of the Earth for us at all. It's got nothing to do with that. We are just after proving something to ourselves through like a real proof, giving ourselves proofs. I mean, it's a drug, really. Once you start with it, once you find that you can find your own proofs, then you just want to get more and more of them, and it brings more and more questions that you want more and more answers from.
I will never be able to map the whole Earth, but just as humans that we are curious, I just need to know, and I think 99% of the people do. And we get a visual of the whole Earth as a sphere. There's none of that as a flat or as an X shape that is not flat, not a globe, like you say. So what should everybody should do? Forget about everything we learn about the globe and do small tests. People that cannot walk out of the house measure their living room, and that's going to give us the shape of the Earth. Or what do we need to know about the shape of the Earth? We need to know. Do you have any idea what the shape of the Earth is then?
Well, like you say, I don't know whether it came out today or whether it's coming out tomorrow. I've got a video where I talk with Mick West. And like when we first came into this, and it's like we have to be able to prove a straight line to yourself. How do you do it? Well, you can't check the land because the land goes up and down. We know there's elevation changes. So the only place you can go for this straight line is the surface of the water, right? It has to be the water. And then once you find out that, you know, like you're looking at the water again, then you realize that everything is related to the water. You know,
well, don't you entertain what anybody have done, any work they done previous to them? It doesn't have to be an agency, but a person that have done something, because we all need to trust people in a lot of measurements and things that they have done. We cannot do everything.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like you go and you research everything you can, don't you? You find out as much information about as much things and as many things as possible. Like especially Earth relating to them. We get so focused in the level and the, you know, it's the camaraderie and everything that we've developed within the group. And I mean, we're just living life, right? We're just going through the motions. We're all living our lives and doing what we do day to day. And then we get together and we discuss things. Eventually we get things done. But we all do it just because we want to do it. There's no other reason to do it.
All right. Okay. Well, I had one comment over here by Paul Ward. Before now I just dropped James Mays with another big super chat, and he say, Jose, I can't have fun with Jesse. I won't come back. He has thick skin. Babe, love your channel. Peace, Jose. No, James, stay. What do you say about Jesse? He had thick skin. Yeah, we all. I got thick skin, man. That's why people insult me and I let it slide, man. Stay, James, man. I appreciate, man. Paul Ward say, so does Bev accept that on the ordinate survey maps are correct and accurate, just like GPS? Ooh, he's comparing now the survey maps with GPS. What do you think about that?
Triangulated positions and then marked from the map in the UK, definitely. They digitized the maps from the 70s. So all you have to do with GPS is triangulate a position and then you get the known benchmarks already from the known positions on the map.
Super chat by Brad Wegner. Hashtag, thanks, Bev. Thank you, Brad Wegner. Now, about GPS, Bev. GPS is this system that is given to us by satellites very high up in the sky. What do you think about this GPS?
Are you going to explain it to us?
I can tell you, I mean, I can explain it to you. GPS are satellites that are little boxes with a lot of circuits and technology that are rocket launched drop the satellite while orbiting the Earth in two different ways. It's actually, some are rotating with the Earth, some are like locked with the Earth. There's different ways, but satellites are this piece of technology orbiting very high up above Earth in different heights. What do you think?
Any
those are?
idea how high?
The high may could be a few 100 miles to a few thousand miles, maybe.
Okay. And then what do?
They communicate to each other and they send communication to Earth, to towers.
Oh, to the tower.
They send communication between themselves and they send communication to the towers on Earth.
Right. So how do you get this GPS then?
Rocket launch, throw it up there in the sky.
No.
Or
Like you're talking about the GPS, aren't you? Like, what is it? What do you imagine the GPS is?
Big box with a lot of electronics inside, orbiting.
That's a satellite.
I mean, but that give us that's the same technology that give us GPS.
Yeah, but what is the GPS? How does that mechanism work with the?
I don't know. That was kind of my question to you. I answer you what I think GPS is. I gave you my understanding. Can you tell us what you think about GPS?
Well, all I've managed to get off anybody is pretty similar to what you've just said there. There's things supposedly floating up there. I don't know whether you call floating or
Orbiting,
okay.
I call it, yeah.
Well, yeah, I understand an orbit to be a straight line that returns back on itself.
Like a circuit, Then that's
Okay.
not an orbit; it's a circuit.
Okay. But so it's a box, and it's what it's going like bleep bleep, beep. It goes. I'm here, or it says like what? What does that box that's up there? How does that communicate? Let's say with your phone, right? Is that what we're having as a receiver?
99% of the phone communication we got is through towers. Don't have anything to do with GPS.
Okay, then. Well, are we going to talk about a GPS receiver then? Or are the towers the ones that are receiving the GPS? What I mean,
no, I wanted to hear your opinion about the GPS.
I don't
How
know.
it works
Like
and what it is.
Well, it's triangulation, right? Through the towers, they triangulate your position with your phone. So they then know where you are on the horizontal plane, right? And they can position you there. Then they put you on a map and they say the map has an elevation marked already on it at that position of 20 feet above sea level. So that's it. They just triangulate your position, put a pin in, they go, that's where you are. And then at that position on the map, the elevation is... boom, and that's what they do. They just put you on a map. All the rest of the data's on the map, isn't it? They've digitized the UK. Like I say, since the 1970s, they started digitizing all of the maps to put it into a digital format.
All right. Mr. Victory's radio. Thank you, Mr. Victory. He say, okay. So that is Mr. Bro on Mr. Bro on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the world is not flat. The world is not round. Babe, you need to have some balls and quit with the not hashtag Earth is a planet. Shout out to Mr. Victory. How do you address a super chat like that?
What? Like, I don't know. There's people like that all the time. I'd say false dichotomy. It's observably not flat, so it's not flat. And then is the only other choice curvy water? Bendyzontal. Like, I can't have that either. I mean, that doesn't make any
anything
sense.
come to mind as an octagon, pentagon, dodecahedron or something?
I've never been to the extremity, so I wouldn't know, would I? I haven't got a clue.
All right. Now, they're correcting me and you over here in the chat. because I'll read a few comments on the GPS right here.
Mhm.
The GPS signal is received only. Nothing is sent from the receiver. The GPS is not transmitting to the towers. It sends its position to GPS receivers. And one more comment. Standalone GPS receivers are incapable of dealing with towers. They only get their data from satellites. So I was wrong. It wasn't the satellites communicating to each other and to the towers. It was them GPS satellites communicating to each other and to GPS receivers on Earth. What do you think about that?
Well, like I say, the let's say the GPS receiver, like he's just said, doesn't talk to towers at all. It only receives signals from things above. Well, that thing that's supposedly moving, it just says, I'm here. And then sends a signal, right? And the GPS receiver picks that signal up. What's that meant to do? It's just receiving signals from satellites saying, I'm here. But that...
So what do you think these apparatus are up in the sky if it's not boxes orbiting sent up by rockets?
What sort of a triangle, right? Because you realise the only way you can tell anything, predict a distance or whatever, is through triangulation. Triangles. It's the only shape that you can do that with.
Or we can know the information because the rockets sending it up and all the people working with it, launching it up, they can give us the information, one or the other.
Well, I'm saying these things can't communicate to something on the land over thousands of miles to tell the thing on the land where that is. Because
why do you say it cannot? Why do you think it cannot?
Because what sort of accuracy are they saying that we can get?
I don't know much about it, but I think it's pretty damn accurate.
Well,
it's not 100%.
It might be a few,
it might be a little bit of. It's always a margin of error on everything.
That's where I say that you've got a bit of a problem, because I can't work that out, right? I can't work out how you triangulate a position on the floor from things that are supposedly thousands of miles away.
So what do you think that people gather together and say, all right, we're going to put this information out that in this rocket that we're going to shoot up, we're going to put a satellite and it's going to be this height. What do you think is happening? Why are they giving us this information?
When I say it's land-based triangulation, and then you just put it on the map.
But the question, why do you think they're giving us this information? Because we see it. We see the rocket launch dropping the satellite and people giving us the measurements and the data.
I don't see any of that. I don't watch the telly. I don't watch that sort of stuff. I don't.
But that exists. So because you haven't seen it, you must not. So you hear it now. You heard it now that there's a big group of people, big agencies, multi-million-dollar companies, and they give us this information. What are your thoughts on that now? Now you hear it.
What information are they giving you? Like
where
you are on the map?
Yeah. They tell us how fast the rocket is going, how high they're dropping the satellites, the speed the satellite is going, the location, all of the data about the satellites, GPS satellites. What are your thoughts on that?
There's data on all sorts of things, isn't there?
Yeah, but in this particular point, on all the data that we have about these GPS satellites, are they lying? Are they got an agenda about something? What do you think? I mean, some answer.
I don't have an opinion on it, Jose. I don't. It doesn't bother me at all.
So you have never heard about this satellite? Because I think it was Paul Ward or somebody they say that they've spoken with you many times about this. Are you trying to make a new argument?
I don't talk about satellites with anyone. I've tried to ask people how it works, how you think it works. I mean, I did get somebody said that the satellite knows where it is. So it sends a signal thousands of miles to, let's say, your receiver, telling you where it is, where the satellite is. But that's all it can know if it knows that. I mean, what use is that to a receiver? The satellite saying, "Hey, my name's Bob, and I'm here, but by the time you get that signal, I won't be here because I'm moving." You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
I appreciate
work.
that. That's an honest answer. And somebody, please, entertain clipping this answer of what Bev thinks satellites are. GPS satellites
If
are.
anybody can come and explain to us exactly the mechanism of how the transference of all of the data that leaves you millimeter accurate, supposedly, then please come and let us know how that's occurred, because I know how hard it is to do that actual measurement with actual tools.
Yeah, I know. And it's like I'm inviting, please, anybody that know about this cell phone that I'm holding in my hand, an Android, I'll give you the specifications later. Explain to me exactly how can you build these circuits? How is the communication between it? How can I do the Google to the apps and everything, all the Wi-Fi, everything about a mobile phone? I want to hear it. I want you to come into a YouTube show and explain it to me. Isn't that silly? It's the same thing, Bev, that you're doing.
Now, this is just a basic method and a procedure of how this transference of data for measurement purposes works.
I can explain it to you.
Go on then.
Right. Experts in technology build a device to receive a signal. They build a device that is going to send a signal to that device. They put that device in a rocket. The rocket take off, go very high up in the air. That rocket drop that device that is going to send a signal to the receiver. Voila, that's the explanation, Beth. What do you think about that? I mean, any kind of rebut. Why don't you understand about it?
So the satellite in the box up there sends you a signal on the floor telling you where you are.
The other technology device that is receiving down here, not me.
Yeah, but that's what the satellite, you suppose, does that. It just sends you a signal and tells you where you are.
But I didn't suppose that is real. It's a real piece of technology that is up there.
That sounds fantastic to me, that, Jose. Sounds like magic.
I mean, it does the level that you're going to entertain in that, because you don't want to just believe it. I mean, it's okay. I don't have to deny it because it's up there, because we got GPS signal down here. People use it. We use it in our freaking maps and in the cars and stuff like that. So I cannot deny GPS because I say it sounds magical and fantastic. I cannot deny reality for that.
Yeah, the satellites are land-based, though, right?
No, they are apparatus, technological apparatus orbiting above the Earth.
Okay.
All right, I got 2 questions over here, 2 points. Fear the Devil says, Babe, what eye level is, and how is it determined on a level? Horizontal plane. What eye level is, and how is determined on a level horizontal plane?
Yeah, I guess you have to understand what level is first, right? A level is a straight line on a horizontal plane. So if you imagine that straight line on a horizontal plane coming from your eye, then that's what it would be. Now, the best way for you to actually grasp what that is over a short distance is looking through an auto level, and you see the crosshairs. Now, it's like a scope of a gun, but the scope of a gun can obviously be moved around wherever. So that's not horizontal. An auto level is a tool that gives you a horizontal with the crosshairs, and that's set and calibrated as a horizontal. So you put your eye at that scope and look through it, well, then crosshairs will be on a horizontal, and that's what we used in order to measure the elevation changes. So, I mean, what was the second part of it? Like, what do you do with it?
And how is it determined on a level horizontal plane?
You just set up an auto level, or you know, any level really would establish that.
All right, we got Mr. Victory's Radio. He say, that proves it. Quote, the Earth is observably flat. Bev, 2021. Bev, are you still a flat earther as much as you deny it? And I never
Did I
fully
say that?
observed- Let me finish it and then tell you that. Bev, are you a flat earther as much as you deny it? And I never fully observed a flat earth. If you understand more than what you see, it's not. Your thoughts. Do you ever say that?
Did
you
I ever
that you're a
say?
flat earther?
Go on, say that again. I was.
Okay. The Earth is observably flat. Bev, 2021. You are a flat earther as much as you deny it. And I never fully observed a flat Earth. If you understand more than what you see, it's not. Damn, I caught up. Something. What do you think about that? Oh, okay. It's not. What do you think about that? Do you make that statement anytime? Ever?
It's not flat. I know flat is 2D. There would be no need for me to say that. I know that level is horizontal, though. Right? Now, a lot of people infer the flatness to it. But, I mean, that's because a lot of people are obsessed with that word.
I wanna talk about level horizontal in a minute. I got a few more comments over here. Triple Crow K, he's giving a quote that you say, and I quote, "I don't understand." So it's fake. Digital Demonic Dravros, what about Ocean GPS? What do you think about oceans? What do you think about Ocean GPS? I don't know. Thoughts on it?
What about it?
That's his answer. What about it? What about Ocean GPS? What about it? That's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, what's he talking about? What? I don't know.
James Collins, thank you very much. With one statement: pictures of Earth from space. I like that one.
I have a space. I've got a T-shirt. Space is the distance between physical objects. It's factual.
Right.
Yeah.
So the pictures are real of Earth from space.
A picture of the ground, the Earth, taken when that's dead real. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I can take a picture with my phone pointing to the ground from where I'm sitting. I can climb on my roof, take a picture. I can take a picture from a plane. People can take a picture from the International Space Station and satellites that are thousands of miles away. Real. Thank you, babe. All real. Level is horizontal, so you say. I don't disagree with that when it's in a small scale and when it's on free space. But on the surface of the Earth, level will follow the curvature of the Earth. Therefore, level over the surface of the Earth, not horizontal. Your thoughts on that statement that I just made, Ray?
Right, well, you'd say that a water level being a tool that establishes an even altitude would be off the surface, right?
You can drop it on the surface if you got any tripod standing on. It's going to be above the surface, of course.
Yeah, but the water level establishes an even altitude, a horizontal plane of even altitude. And that would be altitude is away from the surface, elevation being the surface of the land. So the the water level being an even altitude, would you class that as being in free space?
No. Is if he's standing on the ground on Earth? No, he's on the surface of the Earth.
But the water level as it is a even altitude or any level, right? It's not on. It's the tripod may be on the surface, but the actual level horizontal is off the surface.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're talking about two different things here.
No, we're
Because
talking
my
about the
statement-
level.
Yeah, I was talking exactly about the level, not about the water level. So I don't know if you want to talk about the water level first and then address my point about level, or
It's
do you think they
level.
are, or do you think they are interlocked, level and water level? So
Yeah, same thing. It's a level.
none the same thing. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the definition of level in the surface of the Earth. Level will follow the surface of the Earth. Therefore, level is not horizontal. If you want to talk about the water level, it's still the same thing because in the bigger distance, it's still going to conform to the surface of the Earth, which is there's a curvature to it.
Well, I don't know where you're getting your definition and understanding of the surface of the
Reality,
Earth.
all
Do you-
the evidence of Earth being a globe,
do you mean
reality
the
and my
water, though?
understanding of Earth as a globe.
Do you mean the water, the surface of liquid water?
Yeah, as a whole Earth, it could have mountains, holes and hills and dimps and dimples. In the overall, in the big scale, still a sphere.
But yeah, the mountains and all of that, that's an elevation change. We're not talking about that curvature, are we? Up and down curvature of mountains and valleys that signify not flat, by the way. We're not talking about that. That's not the curvature that we're talking about, is it?
Let's
Jose?
say that there are no land on Earth and there's just water and we're living in boats, right? So
Okay.
we make it easier, right? Like for real, we can agree with to that, right? We live just in a little boat, every single person on Earth, and there's no continents or no, so there's no homes.
You can
and
you come and
hills
jump on
valleys.
in the canal down the road with us, yeah? I mean,
No, but
it's just as easy. I mean,
Can you do this thought experiment with me? Like, let's say there's no continents or lands.
yeah, I'm
popping
just
up above the water.
imagining I'm in the middle of the canal. It's the same thing, right?
Well, but in a canal, I look to the left, I see land. I look to the right, I see land. Let's say that it's all water. Let's think about it, or you don't want to entertain that.
No, yeah, it's just water. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is like we don't have to mention the mountains and humps and hills.
No, if you're on the surface of the canal in between locks, then that's the same thing, isn't it? Except this one, right, doesn't have tides or anything. It's just one surface.
Perfect. So it's one surface.
Yeah.
Now, if you put a water level, let's say we get a buoy with a 4 foot tall above the buoy, we got this big pipe with the water level, right? And then we got half a mile away, we got another buoy in 4 foot high, big pipe with water level. Another half a mile, let's say we do that for a long distance, 20, 30, 100 miles long. Theoretically, a thought experiment. So you are saying that this pipe is going to show the level of the water all the way, right? And I agree with that. Now, the key is because of the level, the surface of the Earth is curved because we live on a sphere. You're not going to notice that the Earth is a sphere unless if I do this test and I grab any kind of optical device and then I look along this line as far as I can see, then I'm going to see the effect of the curvature happening in the level. Because if you just rowing in your boat next to the water level, all you're going to see is the water level in the pipe. All you're going to see is the water in the pipe. You say, yeah, it's flat. Well, think again, because the surface of the Earth is curved because we live on a sphere. What do you think about it?
Well, like I say, I use to find my proofs. I use geometry. Now, a water level is a pipe, and it has two ends. Like it's just a pipe that has obviously two ends to it, and you fill it up with water. So you have point A and point B, and it's one of the fundamental things in geometry that in between 2 points you make a straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Now, because it's a straight line in between those and it's evened out to find an equal, it's horizontal. So that horizontal line between those 2 points is provable because it is the shortest distance.
But you are presupposing that it's a horizontal line between these 2 points.
Well, it is geometrically because there's only 2 points that you can go, right? The question
but
comes...
remember, it's over the surface of the Earth at the same height. Therefore, Great Circle is the shortest distance between 2 points. It's not a straight line like you say.
Okay, well, like, yeah, that's where we go with, right? Because that's obviously an observable reality that 2 points are the shortest distance between them is a straight line. But you would contend a hump, like there's a, the bit in the middle wouldn't lie on that straight line, would it?
It will always be the same height from the buoy to the top to the level. It's going to be the same height all the way along. There's no hump along it. It's just uniformly curved and it's continuously everything is working just right. Now you're presupposing it's horizontal because you're just rowing your boat next to the water level and all you see is this small distance, No,
Jose,
but when you see in the big picture, you know that it's curvature on it.
Geometrical principles. It's the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
On the surface of the Earth?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
It's a basic fact, Jose. Yes.
No, that's wrong. I mean, well, you're half right because you can cut through the Earth. It depends how long this line is. If you make it a mile long, you might be able to pull it off and get a straight line over the surface of the Earth. Now it's going to be higher in one side than another. But if you make it shorter, 10, 20 feet, 100 feet, you make it 100 feet, little sections, you're always going to have this straight line. But in the big picture, if it's miles long, more, if it's more than a few hundred feet long, it's a great circle over the surface of the Earth. That's a straight line, unless you're cutting through the Earth. Through it.
A drop. Do you go with the drop or the hump?
About what? Those are two strange words that have nothing to do with
the water level. If you've got point A and point B, and let's say you're stood at point A, then you're looking to point B. Is that lower? Is there a drop? Or
well, relative to what?
To the other end of the water level. That you've got two ends of a water level. That's all you've got. Like in relative, the water level, I say, establishes an even altitude of a horizontal, right?
And I don't disagree with that, with the even altitude, but then you added horizontal to it, which I disagree with.
So what would you say then? If not horizontal, it's a straight line.
No, it's level.
Okay, well, call it level then, right? Now, at every point along that level line in between A and B, if you were to have a plumb bob, would it be perpendicular to that line, A to B?
In every single point that you put the plumb bob, it's always perpendicular, it's always straight down. You're standing, hanging that plumb bob, wherever you're standing, that's plumb, down. Right. Now, if you want to compare the point A to point B, then they're not going to be parallels to each other.
No, they're not going to be perpendicular.
Perpendicular. They're not going to be parallel, perpendicular to each other. Yeah.
Right. So the level isn't perpendicular to your imagined plumb bobs. I don't know. Maybe you're getting confused.
No, I'm very clear on what I got in my mind, how reality works.
Well,
you're trying to confuse me. You're trying to get me into the confused, and I'm getting a little confused. But it doesn't matter. I'll push through it. Yeah. I'll try to get.
No, I don't want you to get confused. I want to try and get clarity. I want people to try and be sure that what you're saying. I don't want to be pushing you into anything, Jose.
No, people understand what I'm saying. I mean, I just get confused to explaining it. and they can explain it better, but I'm refusing to look at the YouTube chat for anybody to give me any feedback because I want to do this on my own.
All right, I'm definitely not looking at the chat. I never do that. That's normally a big mistake.
Yeah, and I let you know, like now, I'm gonna look in the chat, scroll up, and I got 2 super chats. Doofus Manfred. Thank you, Doofus. If the Earth had no curvature, geodesic surveying won't exist. Geodesic surveying data shows curvature. The data does not fit a horizontal plane. How about that information Doofus just gave us?
I don't know. Like, is he talking about his? I think he's American. Is he state plane coordinate systems? Because I mean, I know us in the UK, we definitely go from one benchmark in Newlyn down south.
All right, I posted the comment in here because I don't want to. He's talking about geodetic surveying.
Mm-hmm. That's just surveying.
Geodetic surveying, actually.
Yeah, it's just surveying.
If you want to call it surveying because it makes you happy, it's okay. But it's geodetic surveying.
Yeah, it's surveying.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why. That. I was gonna make a bad troll comment. I won't.
Yeah, there's no difference. There's only surveyors, right? There is only
Well, there are
surveyors.
geodetic surveys. There are geodetic surveying. Very, very knowledgeable people like Larry GPS. I think he's a geodetic surveyor. Jessica Slosky, shout out to them. The main surveyor and more.
George sort of said the main surveyor couldn't set his tools up. I mean,
we got Flat Earth Denier. Thank you, Flat Earth Denier again. Babe, why are GPS antennas on planes on the top? Why are the antennas on the top and not on the bottom or the sides? That's a good question. I don't know why.
I don't know. I've never seen them.
That is similar to why are the like the dish satellite antennas pointing like in a specific angle depending on where you are on Earth. And there are places I've seen pictures of these antennas pointing straight up. What signal are they grabbing, Beth, when they're pointing straight up?
I haven't got a clue.
It has to be something in the sky, like GPS. So like a satellite TV, satellite.
I don't know.
Any idea? Any thoughts? Or you just don't think about certain things and you move on with your life? Like
Yeah, it
doesn't make
won't
any
make
sense to
any
you.
difference to me, one way or the other. You know, like fanciful thoughts I don't need to worry about.
I understand. I mean, I have understand where you're coming from. I've never asked you this question, and it's a out there weird question. What do you think if everybody would think like you and have your same approach in life about with the aesthetic approach and these definitions, prove things, and a little mathematical thing, prove something? Do you think we'll be as far as we are in civilization today? I think we will be really way behind, like by hundreds of years in infrastructure, technology, and exploration and everything. That's my thought. Where do you think people would, the way you think will be in this world?
Where do I think if everybody thinks like me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, isn't that what everybody else thinks anyway? Doesn't everybody think that everybody thinks like them? That's what I normally think everybody thinks.
Because there are people that the giants that have built this for us, infrastructure, technology, exploration. If we didn't have those people and those people had your mentality, do you think we'll be as far as we are today?
Well, I did building construction. I'm a time served joiner. Advanced craft certificate, City in Guilds. I mean, what are you suggesting? I did a year at teacher training at university as well.
I think that if everybody thought like like me, and I had the most desire to figure out everything and help people to build and go further than everything, we would have been stuck, because I would never work on space exploration. I would never work in like satellite technology. I would never explore as far as people have gone, like circumnavigating Earth and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have never have gone into acting and made movies and singing, dancing, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So I mean, it's a good
So
job.
we have to put our
we're
trust,
not all,
yes.
It's a good
So
job.
we
We're
have
not
to
all
put-
the same.
Yeah. So we had to put our trust in certain people with certain set of skills, like people exploring space and giving us all this information, right?
Well, you do, obviously.
So you don't. So you throw a line. You trust in some people that can build cars and can make a giant building and a bridge, but you don't trust those. What separates?
No,
what
I
is
said
your?
I don't
what is
trust them.
what? Yeah,
They
what are
go
you
on.
then?
There's loads of people go on doing their own thing, right? That I don't even have a clue about. There's not much I can do about that. I mean,
So how do you determine who to put your trust in and accepting information from?
who me? I
Yeah.
put my trust in whoever I determine, right? I talk to people, decide whether that's going to be a source that I trust or not. I mean, that isn't that it? What it's all of this is about? Discernment. You've got to reason and discern.
Okay. Paul Ward says, Bev already accepted the globe. He told us he accepts the accuracy of GPS and Ordnance Survey maps. Show Bev an AWAC plane from Google Images. Yeah. You got an image of that I can show?
Who was that again?
Paul Ward.
Paul Ward. Right, he likes to make stuff up, doesn't he? He's got a good, vivid imagination.
I mean, because earlier he asked you if you trust the accuracy of Ordnance surveying maps. You say yes. Therefore,
they're too
calculation,
scale.
you accept GPS because GPS is the one that
No,
have helped
GPS
us
didn't
build
map
this Ordnance survey.
No, it did not. It was 1961, the last survey that they did that mapped it. And it was all fully triangulated by then. 1961. They did it with, they called it spirit leveling, where they used chains and they did lines to map it. They put benchmarks in the bricks along the side of the road. Didn't have anything to do with GPS. Nothing.
Brad Weidner, thank you, Brad. Bev, can you explain your test to us? You want to take a few minutes and explain your test?
It'd take too long, honestly.
Can you do it in a minute or
No,
less, 60 seconds?
absolutely not. No,
Because
you said you didn't want to do
you got
it,
a class
Jose.
and you got a system, right? You got a system. To
You
explain your
said you
test.
didn't want to do Euclidean geometry, and it's entirely based upon Euclidean
No,
geometry.
Well, citation needed for I say that I didn't want to do Euclidean geometry. Citation needed.
In your chat.
Where? Because I typed something earlier. I say I have no idea. I say I don't know about Euclidean geometry.
Yeah,
that is very different.
And I said
wait.
I won't. Don't worry, I won't.
Exactly, but babe,
Yeah.
I type in the chat. I have no idea about Euclidean geometry. That is very different of what you just say. You just say that I did not want to talk about Euclidean geometry. That is very different. So don't get confused. The comments
Getting
and
mixed
interpret
up
it
from
your
the
way.
other day then, when you were telling us you didn't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
lesson.
Not today. Today I say I don't know about Euclidean geometry, but I can talk about it.
Okay. Well, like I say, we have to work from first principles all the way up to the method and everything. It literally would take too long. I mean, today's the build-up of the start of the why the test came about, right? We will be progressing over the next few weeks, so everybody's up to speed on how it works.
All right. We got a super chat by Buster. Thank you, Buster. Appreciate that. I think this
Ooh.
question is for me.
Yeah.
Could GPS exist without first order measurements, Jose? I don't know what first order measurement is. Never heard of it. Never heard. That's maybe a surveyor.
Yeah, it's the most accurate measurements you can make
I
with
really
surveying,
don't know
Jose.
about it. I'm sorry, I couldn't answer it, but I don't know what first order measurements are. I'm sorry. That's a technicism that I have never heard before.
They're the most accurate measurements you can make, Jose. That's what you strive to aim for accuracy. You should take from first order measurements. But that's taken with like a line method, call it spirit leveling. That's how you get your first order measurements. Actually, as well, Buster was saying you played a bit of his song at the beginning.
Yeah,
It
what
was
do
a
you
bit-
think?
it was a-
If I find, do you have a link, or Buster, do you have a link of one of your songs that you want to share with us? Because I need to run to the bathroom, take a piss, and we can both take a few minutes intermission, and we can play a song in the background.
Yeah.
by you, if
What's your
that's okay.
choice, Buster?
Yeah, that's your choice. If that's okay with you, Babe and Buster.
Yeah, cool. Which one, Buster? We got one.
Yeah, and you can share it either over here in the Meets chat or in the Daily Boom, either or. Sorry about the background noise. Neighbor's dog is going crazy.
Yeah. How about Insane? You definitely want that one, don't you? Right.
Big thank you to everybody watching, dude. We had a big audience. Now we are short on thumbs up and thumbs down, so please make sure if you are here listening, participating in the chat, and lurking in the background, don't forget to like or dislike. I mean, it is interaction. You know, if you just say present by clicking the link.
There you go, Jose. You can get that one.
All right, let me pause this. I'm gonna share my
3 minutes
screen.
14. You've got.
Perfect. So I will be everybody. We are gonna be taking an intermission, and we are gonna be playing a song by
World famous Buster.
Buster. And that being said, I'm gonna share the YouTube link on the YouTube. So you guys, I please encourage you to click this link and go listen to the song so they can get the view and leave them a like or dislike. That song is just going to be playing here so we don't leave any empty air. We will be right back.
You never measure what's in the real world. All you show is your stupid globe, and I know you'll never back your claims. Your world is full of illusions, contradiction between fact and fiction. I know you'll never back your claims. It's like driving the wrong way down a one-way street. Unstoppable force on immovable feet. Straight lines converge in the distance. Why do I get so much resistance? I know you'll never prove me wrong. No, we get our physics deniers, pathologic compulsive liars. I know you'll never prove me wrong. It's like driving the wrong way down a one-way street. your 2D surface. We all know you ain't got no purpose in life. When you think that you live on board, it's like driving the wrong way down a one-way street. It's where knowledge and ignorance meet. Paradoxes and confusion. Your mind is in delusion. We all know you're insane. We all know you're insane.
Boom! Big shout out to Buster for creating art and sharing it with us. And thank you, Try Thinking, for recommending that. I'm going to share the link one more time on YouTube. This link in the YouTube chat is for Buster's song. Babe, so one more question I got here. Paul Ward. Oh, I got it. I need to know if you're still back or not. I haven't.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, you're here. Right.
Yeah.
Paul Ward says, so I guess planes just quote unquote guess their altitude then. Number one, hops out of the window with a tape measure after all. What do you think? How do they measure their altitude? Did they guess it?
I don't know. How do you measure? How do you think that they measure it?
I have no idea. They have some technology they have that they measure it from the takeoff to the height. I have no idea. That's a good question. I don't know how that works.
I know
Now
that
my mind is blown.
I know that drones know, right? We have Brian Mabbott. He's our drone guy, and they have sensors on the drones. So the drones seem to know where they are. We're looking into it. I don't know. Perhaps some sort of a pressure sensor, right? They may get trap air and then move vertically and know the difference in the expansion of the air. I don't know.
Right. Well, it's been, I don't know how long it's been, and I'm not ready to wrap it up yet, but I'm ready to wrap up the one-on-one discussion now. The disclaimer: this wasn't long planned. There was not a specific topic. It was more of a back and forth chat. It didn't get ugly. It didn't get shouty. I appreciate you, and I did okay. We both did okay on not going crazy and insulting. None of that. There was no need. So now there was nothing presented from me. There was nothing presented from Bev. There was just exchange of ideas on how we come to some things. It was actually mostly my questions and super chat questions, but Bev, I want to appreciate you for stepping up and jumping in and giving us giving me and giving everybody on YouTube a place to come in and hang out for a few hours and make it fun and interactive. Give us your final thoughts. I'm going to share the link on YouTube. If anybody want to jump in, I'm willing to let it roll for another half an hour or so. If anybody got any thoughts or back and forth, I don't know if you would like to stay, or if anybody of watching on YouTube from the On The Level crew want to jump in and we'll exchange a little bit of back and forth. That'll be cool. Give us your final thoughts, babe. Wrap it up, bro. Take your time.
Yeah, sweet. It's been cool being here. This is the nice sort of chat we like to have. It's a lot more mellower, isn't it, when there's only two of you? Short crowd. This is the way we like to have it. This is a normal discussion over at Next Level, On The Level. The guys are normally like this. This is what we chat like. We are, like you say, we do things. We do tests. We do stuff. And we've got the Discord set up. So we broadcast cameras. We've got it set up now that we can broadcast an auto level and two or three live cameras at the same time. So you can swap between cameras and see what's going on. We, like I say, we do things. We go to the beach. We go to do stuff. We've got plenty more tests planned for this sort of place. And the Discord is one of the best places for it because you can share screens, share cameras, and share information and chat as well at the same time. The last time we went out with 3-4 cameras we had going, and we were all communicating with 8 or 9 people in the chat doing practical
cool.
tests. It's good fun. Like I say, we've got
The more people that show up, that's is people that is staying out of trouble of going out to a bar or picking up a fight with the neighbor or something. Stay in your home and hang out on YouTube with us,
Yeah, YouTube on Discord. I mean, the Discord's even better because you're not under the strict rules that you normally are on the YouTube. I mean, the Discord's a closer knit group. It's not all. We don't always broadcast live to YouTube. In fact, most of the time we don't. We're doing what we do on the Discord. We do it all the time.
And yeah, I want a disclaimer. As I say in the beginning, I don't represent anybody. Anybody represents me. My opinions were my own. My answers were my own. It's just very, very abstract and rustic, my approach to this topic. I enjoy the topic a lot. So don't hurt me too much when they come to criticize me. Whatever I did with the conversation, because this conversation didn't have any winners or losers. It's just a conversation.
There's never any winners or losers, Jose. There is only the discussion.
Yeah, I want to do this with. I offered our Riv Enlib Lemonbird. Lemonbird, in the next few days, we'll do this, you and me. We'll come in here with me and we'll hang out. We'll go back and forward and asking questions and answers and just chatting to each other. And he said it's okay. That was a while ago. So I'm redoing the offer. Lemonbird, you and me in the next few days, we'll hang out. Big Blue is in the house. Blue, how you doing?
When I find the unmute button, I'll be doing better. How you doing, Jose? Hello, Bev.
All is good.
Hello.
You guys had a great discussion. I really enjoyed listening to that.
It's good when you can do a heart-to-heart sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is. I noticed there was might have been a little confusion going on about GPS. And I thought I'd just talk for a second about that, if you guys want to.
Sweet. Do you know how the satellites transfer the information?
Yeah. Well, there's a whole bunch of those satellites up there, Bev. At any given time, your GPS receiver is listening to 4 or 5 or 6 or however many of them it can hear. And each one is instantaneously on a second by second basis, split second basis, I guess I probably should say, giving its position. I'll give you the very simple explanation of it. A single satellite wouldn't tell you anything. You're perfectly correct about that. But once you have 3 of those satellites, all three of those circles that would be formed have to intersect at a single point, and that's the triangulation, or better said, trilateration is what they call it. So, and the more satellites you have, the more accurate the positioning becomes. But it doesn't have anything to do with cell towers. And the GPS satellite is not transmitting to or talking to anything in particular. It's just sending signals. Your receiver is doing all the work. Your receiver is gathering that information from the satellites it can hear and making the calculations needed to figure out where it is.
Yeah, the one point on the floor. They're all focused towards that. Or the satellites are just sending out signal all over the place, right?
Yeah, every GPS receiver is hearing the same signal.
Right, and then, so they're just on the floor. The one guy with the receivers on the floor. Right.
What do you mean on the floor?
Well, he's on the ground, I'm guessing. The guy with the receiver, he stood there. Mm-hmm. And there are a multitude. Every satellite is just beaming out signals telling everyone where they are. Like, how often?
it's constantly telling everyone that's listening to it where it is.
Right, and it sends that signal like just out all over.
Yeah, it's just like listening to FM radio.
Right, so
Everybody's
then
hearing
the
same
receiver
thing.
just receives that signal. Like wherever it is,
Yeah,
it receives the same signal.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's a
You
time
just add
calculation.
more of those together, and somehow
It's a
you
time
you find
calculation.
out where the
It's,
thing on the floor is.
yeah, it's a time calculation that it's
Time.
actually doing. The receiver is
How
actually
does it
doing
know
to,
when it was sent? What's going on?
the satellite tells it that is telling the receiver that.
It tells it what time it sent the signal. Hi, I'm Bob.
That's
I'm
effectively
here.
what it's
It's
doing.
10:55.
Yeah,
And
You
then
can
the
think of
guy
it
on
that
the
way.
floor receives it, going, "Hi, oh, this is Bob. He was there
okay.
at 10:55." I mean,
Yeah, and another satellite says it's 10:55, and another satellite says it's 10:55, and all three of them send signals, but you receive the signals at different times. Even though they were all sent at the same time, the GPS receiver is going to receive them at slightly different times, and it's that time differential that allows you to calculate an intersection for those 3 points, and that determines your position on Earth. It's that simple.
wow.
It's really very, very
How
complicated. when you
accurate
really get
are
into
they
the
now,
details of it. The standard GPS will get you within probably 2 or 3 meters, something like that.
Hey, can I jump in for
So
just one second?
wait
Because
a minute. That
yeah,
2 or
but
3
I
meters.
wanna
That's
I had a super chat question that I missed, and I'm not going to interrupt anymore after this. But before we continue in the topic, so please hang with me. So it was by Earth is Life, aka Beeble for Life. Thank you very much, Beeble. He say, I've seen Bev take pictures with his auto level and measuring rod. When are we ever going to see any measurements from your measuring rod? Are we ever going to see that? Bev?
it's like if you come into the Discord, you can click on that screen and look at what he says pictures. It's a Discord screen. Somebody's took a screenshot of a Discord screen. That's where those pictures have come from. Or my son. I don't know, one or the other. But yeah, you can come onto the Discord and actually read the measurements on the rod yourself. B-Ball, I've told you this many times. The whole point of this thing is for us to be able to give everybody else the chance to see what actually happens with an auto level. I mean, it's not the same as actually practically doing it, but it's as close as we can give people as an experience, other than them coming down to do it
I
themselves.
didn't have any problem putting my results in a video. Why don't you just go right ahead and do it there, Bev?
You didn't even have a measuring rod, Bob.
Yeah, what I want to do now before we continue with the you and Blue, we're going on into something good. I just want to say a quick welcome, and I'm gonna mention your name. Maybe say hello to the YouTube chat. Your quick 30 seconds thoughts, and then we'll go back to the topic. Bob the Science Guy is in the house. Bob, your first thoughts joining.
Amusement.
Right, Doofus Manfred is in the house.
I got no thoughts at the moment. Sorry.
Erebus Barbazoo, he sent me a bunch of comments, and I'm sorry, Erebus, I was unable to do it because he was kind of, little. But if you want to do a quick summary, Erebus, if you're not too busy over there now, which maybe you are. That guy.
And yes. 1 second. Oh, look, double rainbow. Huh. Yeah. I asked a couple of simple questions. It's kind of strange that Bev had such a hard time with them. That's quite all right. Yeah. about it.
All right, we got J-Mac. J-Mac, your thoughts. Say hello to YouTube.
Hello, Jose. I got a little bit of cold, so I won't talk much. Level is perpendicular to the gravity vector. Thank you.
Wow, fun. Hey, take notes on that, Bev. Oh, Alan, what are your thoughts, brother?
I agree with J-Mac. And also, a flurf is a flat earther by any other name would smell as sweet.
And sorry, I skipped Blue and I skipped Bev for now because they're going to continue the conversation after we say hello to Paul Ward. Paul Ward, thank you for your support out there and your thoughts, brother.
Hey, Jose. Yeah, I think me and Bev have spoken at length in the past on his own Discord, believe it or not. I think that the issue with GPS is it's made out to be this really complex thing, and it really isn't. You know, I've been a programmer for 20 years, and computer games actually use a similar mechanism, but in a much more simplified form to synchronize connections between the server and the clients. And that would be an interesting way to approach this kind of conversation, I guess.
There you go. And if you want to go back, because Big Blue made a statement before, and I actually interrupted your rebut on the level. Now you got broke back to that was a good segue back to the GPS.
Sweet. So 2 to 3 meters, you say, Blue, for GPS?
Yeah, for navigational purposes, that's all you need.
Right, so that's definitely not first order, is it?
Well, it's quite a different thing, I understand, and I'm not an expert when it comes to the surveying GPS equipment, but there's more equipment needed than just what you got in your cell phone.
Yeah, you can get a lot more accuracy, but you need more satellites and you need more complex equipment and more complex computations to be done.
So what's the best accuracy then?
Depends on the kit.
Oh, it can get millimeter accuracy.
Yeah.
With GPS?
What they normally do to get the millimeter level accuracy is they would compute the position that GPS gives, and then they would use other networks as well. GPS isn't the only positioning network out there, and then they would triangulate between the positions of the multiple networks combined to give you even more accuracy. And then they use mechanisms like RTK on top. I think it's called RTK anyway.
Right, so you're just talking.
Yep, RTK is right.
You're just talking a horizontal position in there, aren't you? You're not talking vertical, are you?
No, we're talking about a position in three-dimensional space. So you get an X, Y, and a Z position, which the center of X, Y, and Z, so 0, 0, 0, is effectively the center of the Earth. And the satellite networks are triangulating a reference position from that.
So when I say you're talking about X, Y, Z, and when you're millimeter accurate, you're talking millimeter accurate on the horizontal plane and millimeter accurate on the vertical plane as well. Is that what you're imagining, right? Because that's what when I'm imagining where your positioning is, I understand that the triangulation to find your position, that's pretty easy. That's the triangulation position. I'm particularly talking about that vertical position, the height above mean sea level.
You're not computing your position on one axis. You're computing your position on all three axes at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So how accurate is the thing?
Well, the satellites are synchronized using atomic clocks, and atomic clocks run on effectively the rotation of cesium atoms. So you get some ridiculous thing. I think it's something like 1 billionth of a second or something is the rotation time of the
in every
the atom.
satellite. Yes.
They're extremely expensive. Like GPS satellites are not something that you just put up on a whim. It's a very pricey operation to set this stuff up. But this is why initially they were set up for military reasons, because obviously the military, it's make or break of a whole nation's economy if their military falls. So they've got the budget there to do that kind of thing.
So how accurate is the point I'm trying to get? Because I'm imagining first order. That's what we're talking about. When we talk about these particular elevation changes that we're bothered about and the positioning, how accurate?
Well, the way to look at it is you can turn on the sat nav in your car and you can drive 100 miles down the road and it still knows that you're on the center of whatever road you're on. And that's accurate to within a couple of meters. And that's enough to track your position over 100 miles or more without any problems. Now, if that same positional data says that you've gone round a curve over that 100 miles and you've gone through however many feet of drop that represents over those, I don't know the figures off the top of my head, then the chances are that information is actually accurate, because the fact that you're still on that road, on that map, in 3 dimensions, suggests that that GPS information is telling you exactly where you are correctly.
Brilliant. I don't mean this to sound bad or anything, but for my future reference, what sort of position are you coming from here? Do you work in satellites, or do you work in the GPS positioning thing, or do you work with the surveying tools that use this?
I originally trained as a systems engineer. I then moved into electronics and microprocessor design. From there, I moved into programming, and I've had 20 years in a programming career ever since. So I learned about the fundamentals and the history of computers and sort of how electronics began before I started dealing with the software side of things. Now, in modern computing systems, there's a lot of, there's a lot of respect put into the software and what the software is capable of, but people don't really truly appreciate what the hardware is doing under the bonnet. And GPS is very much a hardware task. There is a software element to it, but essentially all the software is doing is it's saying, hey, I've received a signal from this direction that said it was sent at this point in time. I've got another one over here that was said it was sent at this point in time, and another one, and so on, yeah? And all it's doing is it's doing a complex calculation that says, hey, assuming that information is true, and that signal took this amount of time to get to me, because the difference between my clock and the clock on the satellite is whatever it is.
It's atomic. The one on the... Didn't you say the one on the satellite was an atomic clock? I mean, how accurate's the clock on the GPS receiver?
Well, that's synchronized with the network as part of the signal, essentially.
But it can't know when that signal was sent, though, can it? I mean, how does it send the signal to say when the signal was sent in order for it to time how long it takes for that to get to it? I mean, so that seems like an impossible task.
Yeah, so this is why I brought up the computer game reference, because certain games, and I think it was the guys that built the game Halo. I'm sure everybody here has heard of the game Halo, okay?
Oh, I don't... Dude, I'm after actual measurements. We're talking about... You're in computer game land now.
Yeah, but bear with me, okay? So when a player connects to the server and the player have to be in sync. Otherwise, when another player joins, the two players are not going to see themselves in the right position, right? So this is essentially the same problem. Admittedly, it's going on in a virtual world, but you've got this issue of timing, and you've got this issue of everything has to be in sync at all times for everyone involved, okay? So there's a certain handshake that takes place between a server and a client when they connect to figure out whether or not their clocks are the same, yeah? Once that handshake has taken place, you can then freely communicate on the basis that your clocks are correct. Does that make sense?
It's the ping.
Of sorts, yeah. And if you can think of a ping time as being the same sort of thing as the time delay between a satellite and the time that was sent from the satellite to the time that's on your receiver. That difference is your ping time, essentially. Now, all it's doing is it's taking multiple ping times and it's doing a bit of math around that, and it's saying, hey, based on this math being accurate and those ping times being accurate, I can triangulate effectively consecutive spheres around each of these points that I think I might be at. And where all of those spheres intersect, that's my actual position. Now, obviously, there's a lot going on. It's like super complicated. But
we're getting a little off to a slightly different topic, so I don't want to go too far now. I did a quick poll a few minutes ago, 6 minutes ago. The poll was a yes or no. Enjoyed the one-on-one. 23 people voted, and 87% say yes, they enjoyed the one-on-one. 13% say no. So hopefully we get more one-on-ones. I think people enjoyed that a lot.
That's a good percentage. That well done. Yeah,
you did a nice job with that, Jose.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We both did good.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Cheers,
because
Bob.
we didn't insult each other and not like that. So we did good. That was a success. Yeah.
Let me just wrap up one final thing on this GPS because we got way off track here. The only point I was wanting to come to, and it had nothing to do with surveying. Bev was trying to drag it in that direction just to confuse this. But what he really had confusion about is whether or not there are satellites up there. That's what we were talking about, and whether or not these GPS receivers are getting their information from cell towers, which they are not. There are no cell towers in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but I've used GPS in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in an aircraft, and it accurately tells you where you are. That was the crux of the discussion. It's now been shifted to millimeter accuracy for surveying purposes. I don't want to get into that. I'm not a surveyor, and I'm actually kind of surprised, Bev. You being a surveyor, I would think you would know how this works. How GPS works. Every surveyor uses it.
I'm not a surveyor, Blue. I'm a carer. I think everybody knows that. I keep saying it. I don't know how many times I have to say it.
What gives you the right to tell people how to survey?
When have I done that, Bob?
A surveyor.
Bob, what are you talking about now?
Main surveyor, MT Tune. Why were you trying to tell main surveyor how to do surveying if you're not a surveyor?
The main surveyor, like George said, didn't know that he hadn't set both of his auto level and his theodolite up. He didn't notice that they weren't on the same horizontal.
That's for him to decide, not for you. You're not a surveyor.
Nobody needs to decide. You just need to look at it, and anyone can notice. But he said they're not at the same horizontal. There's a difference between the tools. I mean, like that. If that doesn't tell you he's not a real surveyor, then I don't know what else.
He is a real surveyor, Bev, and no 2 points have exactly the same horizontal. They're not parallel to each other.
Yeah, we had this discussion about plumb lines, and on a flat Earth, all plumb lines would be parallel, and on the current Earth that we live on, it's observably so that it's a fact that no two plumb lines are parallel to one another. And this has been tested repeatedly over and over again.
By whom? By whom? No, I hope you're not going to say the guy that can't set his tools up properly.
Come on,
Jose, I've got a standard question for him if you'd like me to ask it. One that he won't answer.
Give to me.
Bev, please describe the definition of level without using the word horizontal, and then describe horizontal without using the term level.
Wow, that's a good question.
Go on, give us the first one. Give us the first one.
You've been asked this question a dozen times.
Give us the first one, Bob, please.
They are.
Just the first question. What was it?
Can you? Yeah, there you go.
Define level without using the term horizontal.
Perpendicular to vertical.
That's horizontal. Try again. What is
perpendicular.
level?
I didn't use the word horizontal. I said perpendicular
horizontal, it's
to
perpendicular
vertical. I
to
didn't
vertical.
use the word horizontal, Bob.
That's the definition of horizontal, and you know it because you keep giving it. I want you to
It
define
is the definition.
level.
Somebody else just
And-
said it was perpendicular to it as well
No.
earlier. Why didn't you pull
Bev,
him up?
Answer
try-
my question, please.
let's try the
Define
second part of the
level
question.
without
Well-
using horizontal.
Hang on, Bob. If he says that that's the definition for level, well, what's the
Yeah.
definition for horizontal?
Yeah, I want to hear both sides, and then we'll
Parallel to the plane of the horizon.
So both of those, to my mind, are curved lines. So you accept the globe. Great.
How can you have parallel to the plane of the horizon as a curved line? A plane isn't a curve, is it?
Because the horizon isn't a straight line, it's a curve.
But parallel to the plane of the horizon.
The horizon is not a plane. The definition of horizontal is perpendicular to the vertical. The definition of level is a set elevation above a datum. So in other words, sea level is level because it's the same elevation above sea level, 0. That is not vertical. Vertical is perpendicular to, horizontal is perpendicular to the vertical. Do you have a problem with either of those definitions? Because they are
is
correct.
level perpendicular to the vertical?
No.
Oh.
I'm
sure somebody said it
Level
was
is a
earlier.
Level is a set distance, set elevation above a datum. That's the definition of level.
Yeah,
it's
established by a
normal.
tool.
It is, and vertical is normal to water at one point.
Perpendicular.
Yeah, at one point.
Yeah, perpendicular. Like he said,
Yeah,
Bob.
at one point, not infinitely straight
At the
out.
point where it's perpendicular, it
At
is
one
perpendicular.
At one point,
Yeah, at the
Couple
point where it's
horizontal level
perpendicular,
are the
that's
same.
where it's perpendicular.
Bev, I'm
At
talking.
every point, in fact.
Bev, I'm talking. At one point, horizontal and level are the same. If you make a horizontal at one point and then make levels going away from it, those levels will not be perpendicular or will not be parallel to that horizontal.
You got any
But I got a question.
proof of that there, Bob? Or are you just stating that, hoping that somebody will back you up?
No,
Bob.
it's a statement of fact.
Oh, really?
Bev, I got a
Larry
question.
might help you out.
Yeah, you know what, Bev? In the Ordnance Survey UK, which you are again citing, they have numerous documents which have been presented to you describing exactly that level surface, the equipotential surface of a body of water at rest, and a geometrically horizontal flat plane are not the same. And it's right there in the Ordnance Survey documents about how they use the spheroid, how they use plane projection coordinates, the scale factors involved, and yet you just sit there and say, oh, no, Ordnance Survey is all perfectly horizontal. But the Ordnance Survey documents presented to you describe exactly the opposite.
They're not perfectly horizontal. You're just making that up, Larry. I've never said it's all perfectly like the land of the UK has contours on it. It goes up and down. I've got a topographic map on my wall. I've got it. Wait a minute. Well, let me finish, please.
Don't interrupt, Bev.
Right, I've got a map on my wall. Now, all I say is that all elevations are referenced to one point in Newland down south, right? All of the elevations are referenced to that one point.
All right, I got a quick comment to read, and then anybody want to rebut that? Please, because Larry was able to speak without interruptions, then Bev, when he was answering, somebody tried to interrupt. Let's not do that. Let's allow people to finish their thoughts. I got to read this super chat by Aaron Moorfield. Aaron Moorfield is back. Everyone else is super chatting. I might as well too. Good stream and well done on your English expressions. Thumbs up. Cheers, man. Thank you very much, Aaron Moorfield. I appreciate it. Carry on,
Bev,
guys.
do you agree that sea level is level?
Sorry, Bob. What's that?
You need to start listening a little better. Do you agree that sea level is level because it's zero elevation at all points?
No, the mean sea level is established, and in the UK at least, over a 15-year period. And it's the mean of that entire period. That is what we set as a zero.
Do you agree that all points that are on mean sea level are level with each other?
Yeah.
Great. Do
Yeah,
you
zero. All
agree-
zero all the way across the UK. At zero, they would be level with
Is it
that
your
point.
assertion? Is it your assertion that that is parallel to a horizontal line from one point?
All horizontals are parallel to each other. Yes.
Are all horizontals parallel to each other if they are from different points?
Horizontal is parallel to the plane of the horizon. Therefore,
There's
all horizontals
that's
are
not what
parallel
horizontal is.
to each
Horizontal
other.
is perpendicular to the vertical. Horizontal is perpendicular to the vertical. You don't get to pick your own definition. That is the definition of horizontal we are using. Perpendicular to the vertical. Are all horizontals parallel to each other if they are from different points?
Yeah, do you want me to go over the entire
Yes or
logical
no?
statement again?
No, yes or no?
Horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. Therefore, all horizontals are parallel to each other.
We're not using that definition. Use the correct one. Perpendicular to the vertical. Are different points which establish a horizontal perpendicular to each of those individual points, are they all parallel? Yes or no?
All horizontal points on a horizontal plane will be on the same horizontal plane.
So yes,
I didn't
on my
ask you about a
question.
horizontal plane. I asked you about the horizontals from different points, and horizontals as defined as perpendicular to the vertical at that point. Yes or no?
There's no such thing as a horizontal point. What don't you understand, Bob?
There's no such thing as a perpendicular to the vertical at a point.
There is
Okay,
a point
so
of
stop making-
intersection
stop making
where you
false
have
statements then.
perpendiculars.
Stop
But
making false
perpendicular
statements
is
then.
two straight lines.
Stop making false statements then. I never said that. You tried to attribute that to me again. And remember, you still owe me an apology for saying I didn't take those pictures across the lake.
No, I said
Now,
you lied
stop-
about
stop, Bev.
measuring the curvature of that water in the lake, Bob.
Now,
Hey, guys.
again, my question is,
All right.
if you have several points and you take a horizontal from each of those points, are all those horizontals parallel to each other?
Yeah, all horizontals are parallel to each other. Yes, Bob.
Thank you.
I think
You're
I've
done.
said that many times. Gave you a logical statement as to why
Yeah, I know.
it's
I
true.
was just slamming it home. I was slamming it home for you. So you're done. You now
All right.
no longer are reflecting reality.
Can I have a few seconds over here? Two comments. First comment is about a second poll that I just created 10 minutes ago, and I'm gonna wrap up the poll now. So if you haven't voted, vote now. You got 10 seconds. I made a statement in the poll: level is horizontal. 12% say yes, 59% says no, and 28% says more information needed. So we got a level is horizontal as a statement. The majority say no. Ending the poll. And Aaron Morfield stepped up to the game with a freaking $100 super chat. Holy shit. I haven't seen a big fat red $100 super chat in a long time. I think you were one of the last ones, Aaron. Just like the good old days. Tell your baller friends to step up. Cheers, man. Adam Morfield, bro, you have no idea how this helps me because it's been looking really, really sad at the end of the month for my super chats payments. This one is a little push over that threshold of a few short $100. Aaron, thank you very much for your support, brother. Level is horizontal. 60% says no. Bev, 27% says more info needed. 12%, only 12% says yes, level is horizontal. What do you think about that poll?
I think that's brilliant, because I'm sure that people will be able to prove or understand why. Because, like I said, that's why I'm here. Somebody called me a child abuser for saying this, right? So I'd imagine that if those people are that sure, that then they must have some definite proof that level is curved. I mean, it must be curved. If it's not a straight line, if it's not horizontal, then it must be curved, mustn't it?
Yes, and we absolutely have the proof.
Brilliant.
And the Ordnance Survey UK has numerous documents on exactly that. The fact that they reference all their coordinates to the ellipsoid that we know, and that as described in the Ordnance Survey document, a body of water at rest is not a geometrically flat plane, as stated by Ordnance Survey UK. They have plenty of proof and documented and brought forward.
So, Bev, I'm curious, why do you keep maintaining this silly position in the face of all this evidence? I mean, is there something wrong with your ability to understand evidence, or what is it? Are you just being a contrarian?
We know how water flows, Bob.
Apparently not, because your quoted sources disagree with you.
What? Well, what do you go with? What's your personal favourite? Drop, hump, or the new one? But thanks, Blue. Slope.
How nice of you.
What do you think of the work that
which one?
Soundly and Jesse did?
Which one, guys? Like I say, horizontal. Which one do you go with?
What is that? What is your question again, Bev?
Is it what do you guys go with? If it's not horizontal, like I say, water level horizontal. It's a tool for establishing horizontal. If it's not horizontal, is it a drop? Is it a hump? Or does it slope away from wherever you are?
Hold on. I need clarification, because you're talking what is level, if it's a drop, hump, or what is it you're asking for to be? The surface of the earth?
Well, I'm saying, right, level is horizontal. Now, you guys say it isn't. What is it? Yeah.
So what you're saying is, the question is, for us, is level a hump, a drop, or something else?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yeah.
Well, the answer is it's all
Points
curved.
of equal potential.
It's a curve. It's a curve.
Either level points are points of equal gravitational potential.
Right, I got
That's
a quick
the definition.
It's right there on the graphic, Bev.
Okay, 1 second. Redman 116 with a super chat. Thank you, Redman 116. Bev is awesome. He has the power. Thank you very much, Redman, for your support.
Wow, you sung it just like I imagined Redman would as well.
Well, Bev, there's the document right in front of you.
Shout out,
that looks pretty curved to me, that level line. The horizontal line is flat, is straight and level. And the level line is curved, and they are not parallel to each other. So your ideas are done with. So why do you keep hanging on to them?
Like I say, I've got a test. It's a personal test to prove a straight line. Now, I say, because
We're
I have
not
my...
talking about that. We're talking about this document that's right on the screen.
Yeah,
right?
like I say, this is
Level
why I'm
is
here.
curved.
I've said why I'm here, right?
Level is curved.
You've just got a
horizontal
picture, right?
Is a straight line.
You've just got a picture, and I bet you've got that from McToon's website.
It's not mine. Larry Scott put that one up, but that's the definition of level versus horizontal. It doesn't matter what website it comes from. That is simply a factual definition. Now, in light of the fact that you've been presented with the facts, why do you keep persisting with this silliness?
Because I've got a personal test to prove geometrically that I can show a straight line.
Okay, well, you have fun with that. I'll see you later, Jose.
Cheers, Bob.
But does your
See you
Thank you
later.
very much. Because Larry Scott is presenting the stream, I'm going to give you a chance to tell us what are we watching. But first, I just want to encourage everybody to vote on the new poll. We got 12 votes. The question is, what is level? Option A, drop. Option B, hump. Option C, horizontal. And option D, other. So we
Slope.
got what is level? Drop, hump, horizontal, or other.
Slope.
And one super chat question by Earth is Live. Baby, you have a surveying certificate, yet you deny all surveying doctrine that specifically says level is referenced as the curved surface of the Earth.
Did
Thank you,
he
people.
say doctrine? He didn't write doctrine, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh dear.
So what do you think about the full statement? Or do you want to talk about that?
Why
word?
do I deny all? Well, like, I don't know. Like every surveyor I've ever talked to, level is horizontal. That's what they say.
Did you talk to the Ordnance Survey about that document the graphic? Because that's from Ordnance Survey. That's not from some McToon. That's from Ordnance Survey. That's from Royal Engineers. That's from the world's greatest geodetic organization that the world has known for centuries.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're also misquoting the surveyors that you're talking to. When they say level is horizontal, they're talking about when they prepare their equipment, they level their equipment and they have it pointing on a horizontal plane. From that, they have their reference point, and it's the deviation on that plane that they're measuring.
Nah, the one of the ones that I've talked to, we specifically were talking about a 27-mile stretch of canal.
Hey, babe, it's been a fun show, but as for fun visuals, dude, this is excellent. Thank
great,
you.
isn't it?
This is a good troll. This is a good troll.
What do you
meme.
mean a
I
troll?
love it.
We went back there again, did it even
Good
better?
meme, good meme.
Hey, Beth,
Really? Yeah.
Beth,
Yeah.
I got a question.
We call
In
that
all
the
my-
true horizon at my head there.
I got a question. In all modern electronic equipment, they have curvature corrections engaged electronically to do the curvature correction for the surveyor. Now, does any surveyor you talk to, did you ask them about that curvature correction, and is it turned on or is it turned off? And does any surveyor ever turn it off? And why do manufacturers include that in all the current modern electronic total stations? And even FE Core had rented a very expensive digital level, and they commented to their kudos. They even mentioned that they forgot to turn off the curvature correction. So why do all these equipments that are used by Ordnance Survey and National Geodetic Survey and all the survey companies and all the major survey organizations that use electronic equipment have curvature corrections automatically built in and turned on, and all post-processing softwares have ellipsoid selection always as the default? So why is all of industry, you say follow the money. If an electronic instrument these days does not have curvature correction, you couldn't give it away, let alone sell it. So why is that?
I always go curvature switch off.
Oh, you
whenever
do?
I
So you have one. Oh, I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, always.
Which model do you have?
Just like the on-off one.
No. Which electronic total station do you have that you've turned it off?
Just the on-off switch. That's what you said once, isn't it?
No. The option in its configuration has an enable and disable. So why does nobody turn that option or disable that option in their electronics? Like FE Core said, they forgot to disable it when they were doing their test because it's there by default. It's enabled.
The curvature on-off switch.
Enable disable configuration setting.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've never.
I thought you said you had one.
I've got a switch.
Oh, you have an electronic equipment?
No, a
What
switch. An on-off
No.
switch.
one? On your electronic survey instrument?
Yeah, I have it on the side. Like Bob. Bob will know
Okay.
that. Always he's
We're
gone,
not
hasn't he?
talking about-
It's like yeah,
we're
it's
not-
like it lights it up as well. Do patterns.
Obviously, you're not grasping a configuration setting versus just powering it up.
Oh, it might be
configuration-
that. Yeah, actually, it might be the powering it up switch.
Ah, okay. So you really don't have a technical background to describe what goes on with current state-of-the-art, ubiquitous electronic survey equipment and the Ordnance Survey's repeated documentation of the ellipsoid, and that wonderful statement where they say level and horizontal is a myth, and that a body of water at rest is not a geometric plane. So you disagree with Ordnance Survey
It's not
UK.
a geometric plane. Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. A body of water at rest is not a geometrical flat plane, stated by the Ordnance Survey UK as one citation amongst myriad citations.
Is it still 2D?
It's a portion of a sphere.
Is it 2D?
When it's on a sheet of paper, yeah.
It's a portion of a sphere.
When levels on a piece of paper, it is 2D.
If you don't have a technical background,
Like,
to have
how did we go to a piece of paper? He's just been talking about the horizontal plane. Level.
Are you talking about a map of the entire Earth, or are you talking about a single portion of that?
No, let's start again. Larry has just sat there, whatever, and said that it is not horizontal, right? It diverges away from the plane. So
Correct.
I asked, is it a two-dimensional surface? When it diverges away from the plane, is
It's
it
not.
a two-dimensional surface?
It's not, no. I had the benefit a few years back of working for the local council, and one of the systems that I was responsible for looking after in my job in IT was their geospatial systems. And we had gigabytes and gigabytes of data, and it was raw spatial data that come from Ordnance Survey. And you can actually see the curve in that data. When you look at sort of 50 square miles of data, and you just map the raw data into like a 3D editing tool, the positional data that you get out of it shows a curve. Now, you've already said yourself, Bev, in the discussion that you were having with Jose earlier, that you accept the accuracy of the Ordnance Survey maps. So, statement of fact here, you accept the accuracy of the 3D model that those maps are based on, because they produce the flat maps that they put into books and, like the atlas or whatever that you can buy from your local garage or whatever to use as a road map, is a projection of that 3D model data, the raw underlying data that those surveyors are collecting on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I've got a topographic map. It's got a scale on it and everything. It's got a
Yeah.
vertical scale and a horizontal scale.
And that has come from a 3D model, which is based on a curved surface, which was gathered from the real world.
It's not. It's like a.
No, it is.
Yeah,
It
the
is.
Ordnance Survey.
All the
Ordnance
maps are flat.
And they describe the projection that they use to get from the spherical latitude and longitudes to the Mercator projection of the Ordnance Survey. Yeah. They describe how they get from the ellipsoid and latitude
It's
and
getting
longitude
late.
to the Mercator grid of the Ordnance Survey maps.
Bev, do you
Yeah.
think just because maps are on pieces of paper, therefore the Earth is flat? Just curious.
No, I do not think the Earth is flat.
Do you,
It is observably not flat. But all maps are flat. That's a fact.
By mathematical projection.
Hold on, Larry. Hold on. Let's hear Bearded for a minute because I'm about to wrap it up very shortly. And Erebus, go ahead.
It is pretty much that association because a piece of paper is flat, therefore the Earth is a horizontal level plane. Is that correct? Go ahead, man. Tell me it's not.
I don't know. Sorry, I was... What was that
Not
again?
paying attention.
Go on. Sorry.
Oh, you're finally ready. Okay, there you go. Since you didn't pay attention the first time or the second time, you gonna pay attention the third time now, or are we gonna play this game again, where you pretend not to hear anything?
Go ahead. Let's try again.
Yeah. Is your pretty much your point that about the whole maps thing, that a map is printed on a piece of paper, and therefore the Earth is a level horizontal plane, and that's the association. Is that it? You're just playing associations?
No, I'm just stating facts. All maps are flat.
Great. 'Cause they're on
2D
pieces of paper. Thanks.
surface. Yeah,
That's really not-
2-scale maps.
And
that really did
the mathematical and the
Hold on, Larry.
mathematical projection
Finish the
and the
second part.
mathematical.
Hold on, Larry.
Hold up. You didn't finish the second part. Go on, Bev. Respond to the second part of what I just said.
I just did, didn't I?
No, you didn't. You talked about the fact that maps printed on pieces of paper. Thanks. We all know that. Are you taking the association from a flat piece of paper that the Earth is supposed to be a horizontal level plane due to that?
No, when have I ever said that? Just say level is horizontal, right? You guys assume one hell of a lot of things
I didn't make
from
any
statements I make. You jump to conclusions.
Not really.
I'll state again. Level is horizontal. I've got a test,
I got
geometric
you.
test, to prove a straight line
then,
that I'm doing
what was
for
your-
myself. I'll make
was
the
your
other
straight
statement.
up, Bev?
All maps
up,
are
Larry.
flat.
You gotta wrap it up, Erebus.
So hang
Our
on.
maps are flat, therefore flat. Gotcha.
So straight up, Bev, you've said you don't think the Earth is flat. You also don't think it's a globe. So what is the shape of the Earth?
I don't know. I've never been to the extremities. I haven't got a clue. I do not know.
Synthetic approach. I think I mentioned that earlier. It's hard for
I've not got a
one
clue.
to know it. It's hard for one to measure all this on your own. You know, we gotta trust people that have done it.
So why would you deny a globe?
Sorry?
Well, you're saying it's not flat, but you're also saying it's not a globe. So
Yeah.
why are you saying it's not a globe?
I can't work out how you could have a horizontal plane on your curved surface. You just have to imagine it was curved.
But if it's a horizontal plane, the Earth is flat, right?
Okay, that's what you're saying. Is that the conclusion you would come to? Because I
No,
wouldn't.
that's-
Like I say, it's not flat. So that'd be a really weird conclusion for me to come
Can't
to.
be a plane.
Okay,
Hold up,
let
it
me
can't be a
clarify
plane.
here, right? Yeah. You're saying the Earth is clearly a horizontal plane.
No, I'm saying level is horizontal.
And the Earth is level everywhere.
I don't mention the Earth, right? Because the Earth doesn't matter to the level.
So
right?
what
The
you're doing is
level
you're-
cares not about the Earth.
Hold on. You
So-
did mention to Jose that about the whole the Earth being a horizontal plane.
Yeah, you've said the Earth is a horizontal plane.
But if level is horizontal, I mean, like, come on.
That's you're the one who stated this, so I'm curious.
Yeah,
if
it
you
stated that
suddenly
level
don't-
is horizontal. Yeah.
Hold on, let me
Horizontal
hear
is
his
a
question.
plane.
Erebus, let me hear his question. Erebus say, all right, so you agree with this, therefore, right?
Well, yeah, when you asked him about the Earth, about the Earth and all that kind of stuff, he said that the Earth was a horizontal plane. Is he not saying this anymore? Did I fall asleep suddenly? Is the Earth not a horizontal plane anymore, Bev?
That was a beautiful answer. We're gonna wrap up this one. That was very telling, man. Hey, I'm gonna go down alphabetical order. I'm gonna call your name. Everybody gonna have a chance for final thoughts. Let's stop screen sharing, Larry, so we can see the icons of the people speaking. Sorry, it's a little too late. Can you stop screen sharing, Larry, first? And then we'll go down alphabetical order. It's been a successful show, big audience. I made a lot of money, bro. I haven't made this much money in months, bro. Thank you very much for y'all's support, for hitting like or dislike. Babe, grab whatever part of the stream that you want. Mirror it over there. Do whatever you want, and hopefully we'll get the visit again. We'll redo it again. I go alphabetical order. We don't have much people, so it should be quickly. Big Blue, your final thoughts.
Yeah, thanks, Jose. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thanks, Bev. Glad you showed up. And when we get to you, I wonder if you would mind answering one further question, and that is, do you have any reason to disbelieve the elevation data at LIGO? I think you're familiar with what LIGO is and all of that elevation data that's available to us. So with that, again, thanks, Jose. See ya.
Thank you very much, Blue. Erebus, your final thoughts.
Well, yeah, I'll restate that question again. Bev, do you believe that the Earth is no longer a horizontal plane? I'd like that answered if he could.
All right. We go with J-Mac. Your final thoughts.
I only heard about the last 45 minutes. Good show. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Oh, another account here jumping. Very good. Larry Scott, your final thoughts.
Well, just because Bev hasn't traveled to all corners and other people have, we have the South Pole as a distinct point in the Antarctic continent. So we got shaped down with no calculation. All you do is just go to the South, people have been to the South Pole. So if Bev openly describes he has no technical survey background, then I don't know why he wants to disparage the fact that the Ordnance Survey, UK, which he espouses to, and because of their maps, and on their maps they describe the sphere they came from to get to the grid they use to make his piece of paper map. Now they describe that mathematical transition, and yet he says, well, no, so I don't get it. South Pole exists. That's the shape of the Earth. We move on to dimension, but it doesn't matter. We got shape. Boom.
Boom. Thank you very much, Larry Scott. Oh, Alem. Final thoughts.
Yes, just like last time, be very careful with absolutes. Be very careful with absolutes. Last time you tried to put a rule up that all distances are measured horizontally, and I proved that wasn't true. And today there's like another thing that was sort of true. So a lot of half-true statements like all maps are flat, but the Earth isn't. Okay, the second part's true. The Earth isn't flat, but no, not all maps are flat. That's not true. I'm holding a globe map in my hands right now. Boom.
Boom. Thank you very much. We're going to leave on the level for last, so we're going to go with Paul Ward. Final thoughts, Paul.
I think if there's anything to take away from this, from my point of view, it would be that, we've heard a lot of discussion about how certain technologies work, how we measure the shape of the Earth, and what people have therefore derived from that. And, that's all been sort of empirical facts, known science that's corroborated by thousands, even millions of people over many years. And all we've heard in response from Bev is denialism. I don't understand. I'm not sure about that. But I've got a little experiment with a tape measure, and that shows that the Earth looks like a horizontal plane, but the Earth's not flat. So we don't know what it is because reasons. So typical. This is Flat Earther 101, right? Argue semantics, claim a moral victory. Boom.
Boom. There was a poll up before we go with you, babe. Give me 1 minute. There was a poll up, and the question is, what is level? And we got 4 options: hump, drop, horizontal, or other. 6% say hump, 8% say drop, 14% say horizontal, and 70% says other. That could be the slope that I missed to add into that. But, dude, Aaron Morfeld did it again. Freaking another $100. Holy hell. Wow. Yo, Aaron, you're the freaking man. He say, Jose J.G. Gonzalez, we are not on the same plane, but I appreciate your creating this platform for all of us. Yo, Aaron, merci, brother. Thank you very much. Proto, sir, you lost your range because you posted a link that the title was about doxing the Globers, and that's a no-no in my channel, so you're going to be unable to post any more links. I'm sorry, but rules are rules, brother. Aaron, merci, bro, and everybody else that supported Everything Hubs. Bev on the level, thank you again for coming. Your final thoughts.
Well, I don't know. Was there a couple of questions? I don't know. Blue, I'd leave all of that sort of stuff. You should really have a word with Mobius. He's definitely the man if you want to talk about your elevations. If you want me to talk about what I understand elevations to be and how that's measured, small scale, then we can do that. That's what our test is. Who was the other one? I can't remember.
Do you still
Nick?
think that Earth is a horizontal plane?
Right, like I say, the Earth, like the land, doesn't matter to a level. That the land goes up and down. That's why we use a level to measure the land going up and down. So I don't know. Like you it's not flat, is it? You use the level.
Nobody else speaks. Just Bev. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And other than that, I mean, everybody just makes assumptions about me again. I heard, I think Nick said something about us being a flat earther, right? And you can say flat earther denialism. Well, yeah, I'm not a flat earther. And all I've said is that level is horizontal. I've got a test to do a straight line using the water level and geometry. And we use the proofs from geometry to help us show you, or everyone and myself, that you can do practical tests with things in reality. I mean, like, I'm not harming anyone. It's no problem. I don't make any claims about the shape of the land. I know that the land goes up and down, mountains and valleys. It's just a simple test to prove a straight line.
Do you want to shield your channel or your server, and we'll wrap it up?
Well, next level on the Discord. Anyone should know. You can just come in there. We're a friendly bunch. We have conversations like this very often. We probably laugh a bit more, have a bit more fun, and we probably learn a lot more as well. And the channel, Try Thinking, YouTube channel, plenty of conversations, much like this. But we're moving on and we're going into testing more because we realise there's no debate. There's never has been a debate. It's all just entertainment. With people, I don't know, just entertainingly shouting at each other, assuming things about other people and then arguing straw men.
And in the description box under this video, when I'm about to wrap it up, when I shut it down, I'm gonna add a link to Try Thinking channel. Is gonna be in the top of the description box. Everybody should go check it out. Thank you very much again, Bev. Thank you everybody for your support over here in the panel and watching on YouTube. And I want to say to everybody, Jose JG out. Boom! And in the voice of Owen Wilson, I say, wow. Thank you, guys. It's over.
Right. Cheers. See you later, guys. Have fun.
If you enjoyed the content, please support On the Level and future projects. Membership subscriptions available now, or come and get involved at Next Level Discord server. Thank you.